I was 20 years old when I owned my dealership. It sounds like a big thing. I mean, it was a shop like this. I had like 2 cars and they were like, you know, $1,000 each. Like
That's how you
cheap.
started?
That's how I started it,
2 cars, $1,000 each.
Yep. Everyone always says this whole 25-year import law. I've imported cars for people like brand new, 2017 in 2017. OGs would know about this. Single cam, turbo, 30 pounds, 50 shot of nitrous was a wave.
Wave for one pass. Welcome back to another episode of the Street Alpha Podcast. I'm your host, Tukes. We got my guy Josh here.
What up, what up?
And today we have Frankie Type R in the building. Let's clap it up for Frankie.
Hey, clap?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
So for those of you guys who don't know Frankie, I actually was filming for his store, doing YouTube content for him about 2 years ago now. And his name is Frankie Type R. And I never asked him why his name. Well, he told me why it was. But Frankie is known for having the first authentic JDM EK9 in the States, so to speak.
Yep.
You've had multiple cars, right?
Over 130.
Yeah, over 130 cars, which is crazy. So he also had a car dealership as well, right?
I did own a car dealership, yep.
Car dealership. He's had a couple different businesses. And now he owns a sneaker store, which is in the
King of Prussia Mall.
King of Prussia. It's hard for me not to say Cherry Hill because
I know,
that's what we always say when we start the videos. So yeah, it was a 3-hour drive, right?
3-hour drive from my house to here, yeah.
From Jersey all the way to New York, but he made it. It's actually further to get to your house from here than it is going to the store.
Yeah, I can see that, most likely.
So it wasn't that bad. But imagine rush hour traffic from New York to Jersey. It's crazy.
Yeah, hell.
Like, I actually never did rush hour the other way around. It was always going to Jersey.
Going to, yeah, no, it was,
which is just as bad.
Belt Parkway was trash.
Terrible. So, all right. So where do we start with you? So like, what was your first car?
My first ever car?
Yeah, your first ever car.
That was a little raced out Civic.
Oh, so you're truly a Honda guy. Actually, you have a tattoo.
Yeah.
Like you have a Honda tattoo.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Well,
like
it's not on this arm. It's actually on my back.
Oh, it's on your back.
Like the side, I have like.
I thought it was on your arm.
No, so my arm is actually just all car parts. It's not actually like anything Honda related. I mean, the rim is from. It's T37s from my NSX with the actual wheel, like the actual tires that I actually had on the car, like same tread pattern. But no, my Honda tattoo is on my back, like kind of off to the side.
Damn, so he's a real, authentic Honda guy at heart. So your first one was, you said it was, what was it, EK?
It was 96.
96?
Yeah. So I mean, technically, you know, on like Instagram posts, they call that, you know, the EK body.
Yeah.
But it's not an EK because it's a, you know, it's not a Japanese car. So
right.
The VIN is not EK. But
so, did you do anything to the car? Because what year was this?
I was 16. So, good luck if I could do that math.
What are we at? Like 2023?
23. So probably like what?
About 16 years ago, almost.
16
yeah,
years
I'm 31, yeah. About almost 16 years ago was my first car. So that car, it was automatic.
It was auto?
It was auto. I bought it from my aunt, and it was just a clean, like, you know, all I did to it was like lowering springs.
Yeah.
And my dad like didn't want me to get into like racing and stuff like he was into.
Yeah.
So he was like trying to push me onto like car audio and like appearance. So like Lambo doors and a fire system in it. Like, so I would like.
Wait, you had Lambo doors on the first one?
I had Lambo doors on my first one.
Did you cut the springs? You actually had springs. Did you cut
No, I actually had springs.
Oh, okay. Because that was a big thing too.
It was eBay, but I actually had springs.
So were you like bouncing all over the road?
No, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
But like a little muffler. Did a little muffler.
Make that shit loud.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that loud. I wish it was louder, but at the time, it was not that loud. The system was crazy though.
The system. Bro, you had a ricer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I was 16 watching Fast and the Furious. Yeah.
Frankie Type R, ladies and gentlemen.
I had
ricer.
100%. I had a full raced out Civic, but I would go to competitions for sound, and I would win tons of competitions for sound
with the Lambo doors.
Yeah, but
that'd be sick as fuck.
But it was dope though. Like, cause I mean, this was kind of in at the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what year was this? What was? Because
I mean, it was about 16 years ago. So
how old are you? Said
I'm 31.
All right, so that was like in 2008, 2007.
I feel like it was even before then, but yeah, probably. Yeah, actually, maybe.
Because I'm 32.
Okay.
So
yeah, about that.
yeah. So it was like 2006.
But the system was crazy. It was really cool. My dad was really good at like installing that stuff. So like, if like you pop the trunk, it looked like nothing was there, and then like I would hit a button, and like I would have this thing where my sneakers came up. I had like this thing. It was cool. But like, and then if I put the back seats down, you kind of see like it was almost like it looked like factory in a way.
Really?
But it had all these like hidden gems to it. So it was pretty cool. You know, for
You know what it reminds me of? If it feels like Pit My Ride.
Yeah.
No, it was very much like that.
Yo,
It was.
I forgot about Pit My Ride.
No,
Yeah.
it was very much like that. But like you got to remember this time era, everyone was like that. I mean, it was more grown people. Don't get me wrong, you know, because not everyone had like the money to do that.
Yeah.
But I was working for my pop, so I was like actually making a decent amount of money.
Right.
And you know, I mean, you go to like any car meets, you got like Ford Crowns with Lambo doors on it, Impalas with Lambo doors on it. You know what I mean? Like this was just like it was the cool thing at the time.
No,
I mean,
it was.
don't get me wrong, it was kind of never really a cool thing, but like.
It was in.
It was in, but
Fast
you know
and
what I mean.
Furious,
Like it
like
was
the
still
first
like
one,
some
90s.
people still made fun of you. You know what I mean. This
Yeah.
is before like you knew better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to mod your car and you didn't know any better, I mean, you're turning on Fast and the Furious and you're like, I want that decal on my car. You know what I mean? Like that was. I don't have nitrous, but I got the sticker. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't ever like you just didn't have any guidance. You know what I mean? I was also young, so I wasn't on the B20s and stuff. I wasn't on the forums.
Yeah.
I wasn't on all that stuff. So
I was on the P20.
and I wasn't, like I said, my dad was trying to push me out of racing because he knew what it was going to come to. You know,
Right.
that's what he did his whole life. So I was like, and I still did fall into it, but he was trying to get me away from it as much as
like a
possible.
show. He's trying to get a show car and stuff.
Right,
like that.
right. Like show car.
Was your dad a Honda guy too, or?
Oh, hell no. He was a Chevy guy.
Oh, he's a Chevy guy.
Yeah.
He seemed like he'd be a Chevy guy.
Yeah, Tron's definitely a Chevy guy. Big Chevelles, Novas. He had a sick Nova. He's big Chevy guy. I mean, he's had everything. Like, but
Yeah.
So, did you sell that car? Like, did you get like?
no, that car got totaled.
It got totaled.
Yeah, that got
I was
totaled.
gonna say, I was gonna ask you who bought that because, like, at the time, like, yo, you imagine who bought that?
Like, who bought
Who
that?
bought that? Like,
Yeah,
yo, so
no,
it got
it's-
totaled. So, like, was it your fault or?
No, yeah, it was my fault. It was slid in ice, you know.
Damn.
Kid
That
driver
sucks,
slid
man.
on ice, and luckily no one got hurt. No one was in. You know, just I hit a tree. Like, you know what I mean?
Terrible tragedy. We lost another racer. So what was after that? So how many years was that until like you got the Type R?
Years.
Like you went through a ton
What
of
did you say?
different
That was
Hondas.
2008. So
Yeah.
9, 10, 11, 12. About 4 years later, I got the Type R. So there was a lot of cars in between then.
Now, any of those cars in between them, were they like similar to that, or they were just like other, Hondas and 4-doors, EGs, EKs?
I mean, not all Hondas. I mean, I had like a little Tiburon that I had like kind
You
of
had,
like hooked
beaters?
up. I had an RSX with like
RSX is fire.
it was just like a cool system in it, some wheels. It was a little less racy, but
Yeah.
big decal on the side.
Damn.
But it had like Koenig wheels. Remember like those?
Yeah.
So it had like the stylish wheels for the time and stuff like that. It was lowered. It was a lot more tasteful.
Pep
Lip
Boys,
kit.
Pep Boy wheels.
Yeah. No, Pep Boy wheels for sure. Lip kit instead of the body kit. You know
So
what I mean?
lip kit is actually, so when I around that time, when I was gonna get my first car, I was looking at car parts. I used to go to these body cute websites, and I
know
swear
exactly what you're talking
I used to want a Celica, and I had this, my computer background was literally a Toyota Celica. It was red, had Lambo doors, had like chrome taillights, all this shit. And I thought at the time it was so fire. And then my cousin, he was into Hondas, and he's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
He's like, we don't even do that no more. That's like played out. He was like, we get lip kits now. So then I started looking at lip kits, but I could never find anything. And that's how I got into B20 VTech forums, because they would on there, like, those are like the real, the real
Yeah, when
Honda
you're
guys.
actually like sourcing parts from Japan
Yeah.
and like super rarity, and that's what kind of made it cool.
So
And
they had local areas too, like you can go to different like
Yeah, to your
different
section of-
regions.
yep.
So I was in New York, and people were selling lip kits, but it was kind of like it was hard to find them because like at the time it was just becoming a popular thing. So when I got my first Honda, I never got a lip kit. I ended up heating the springs and doing stupid shit because I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford a body kit anyways. It was pretty
yeah,
expensive.
they were like 3Gs back then.
I didn't know though. When you see a car like that when you're younger, you just want to get like whatever you see.
So you were a little bit of a racer too.
Yeah, no, I was. I technically
so
was
don't
because I
play
didn't
me
know
for the cameras.
It was
You know what I'm
my
saying? 'Cause you was
first.
trying to play me
but
for the
I didn't
cameras.
actually
but
do
if
it.
you had the money, you would have did it.
I definitely
You would have had
would've.
that exact
I would have had a
Celica.
Celica. I would have had a Celica with butterfly doors
Automatic.
and
And a sound system.
I don't even know what the interior. I don't remember the interior. You had a bunch of stickers. Yeah, it did have stickers on it too.
Yep.
It had stickers, and I think it had like chrome wheels or something like that, which is even worse. It didn't even have JDM wheels. Yeah. I didn't even know anything about wheels
though.
I didn't know anything about that.
I had SIs on it.
Okay.
And I didn't even know like that was that cool. But my uncle was like,
no, yeah, back then,
because you know this at the time it was in Newark, so like my uncle's like, yo, you got to watch these wheels. You know, like people will steal these. Like,
what year was it again?
08, like you said. Like,
no, the Civic.
Oh, 96.
Oh, okay.
It was a 90 Civics with the EM1 wheels.
So that's the first. Okay. Oh, EM1 wheels.
Yeah, EM1 SI wheels.
Damn.
So like those were getting stolen like hotcakes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But that's the thing. It's like now it's like people
I had like
jacking wheels off the newer cars.
Blocks.
That's how it is back then. The SI wheels, all that stuff was pretty in. I mean, I don't know. At the time, if you're younger, you're kind of like delayed on things.
Yeah.
When you're in, and you kind of know what's popping right now.
Right.
So when you're younger, you're looking up to like Fast and Furious. It's different. So I'm sure my cousin was older than me. He's like 4 or 5 years older than me. He had a car already.
Right.
So once I was ready to go and get my first car, he was like, bro, like, why are you looking at that?
Yeah.
And then I ended up buying my mom's first car. My mom's car. And that was my first car. I bought it off for her. And it was the EK 4-door. So when I got that car, it was better than anything he had. So then I started getting ghetto with it because he's like, yo, you got to do this, you got to do that. But like, it never really worked out. And I ended up selling it and getting a 91 Integra. That was a piece of shit. It was like an automatic Integra. Sold that. You know what I did with it?
Do I want to know?
So I sold that car, and I ended up going to the sneaker store around the corner.
Fire.
And I bought Ed Hardy jeans. I bought a couple hoodies. I bought a pair of Dunks. And I bought, yes, I swear. I swear.
That's kind of the racer version of human. Like, you had Ed Hardy jeans.
I swear.
That's crazy.
I was 17, and I was the freshest kid in my grade. And that's when, like, I swear, I was the flyest kid in my grade.
You sold your car. I get it. Like,
but nobody had a car.
Outfit.
Nobody had a car in my grade. I was the first one.
All right. Fair enough.
It's definitely, I could definitely relate to that, first car situation.
Yeah.
But I jumped from car to car. But I never really had like a Type R or any, like a couple years later I had the S2000 and stuff like that. But I never went from car to car, like how you did, because you seemed like you were just trying to like, at the time, find something similar maybe, or trying to level up at that point.
Yeah, kind of like leveling up and just like getting bored of it quick.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of the reason why.
That's a huge part of my life, you know, which is good. It's a good thing as long as you can keep up with it, but it's a thing, you know. Yeah. So, I went through like from there to like the anything fun was like 15 cars in between.
That's wild.
You know, like I learned how to drive stick shift on like some Hyundai.
And it wasn't. So when did you learn how to drive stick then? And what car?
So I want to say it was like maybe the next year or even same year.
Damn.
My dad's friend gave him this like little Hyundai that was stick shift, and it was like, I don't know, he was gonna junk it. So my dad was like, whatever, you know what I mean. So he was gonna teach me how to drive stick on it. Learned how to drive stick, and like literally later that day, I learned how to drive stick, and I came back home and I was like, Dad, can I have this car? And he was like, yeah, it's yours, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, so I can do what I want with it. He's like, yeah. So I leave, and I was like, Dad, I need a ride. I need you to pick me up. And he's like, what happened? And I was like, well, I sold the car, but I have this bubble I'm going to go buy. So, what? So I learned how to drive stick, and then I went and bought a stick bubble.
Damn.
Like a little, EG hatch.
EG hatch, yeah.
And then that ended up being my race car. Like, 5
Your
motors.
first race car.
My first car that ended up being a race car.
Okay.
Like, it was a single cam, old lady owned, but had some really cool options because it had like the blue pleather seats.
Really?
That was like a factory thing. No passenger mirror, and I just had that. And like I said, I learned how to drive stick. So
what parts did you have on that made it like a racing car?
Well, I went to my roots. Went a little ricey at first, but
well, what's ricey for racing? Like what? Did you put a NOS tank in there?
I did. No, I'm just kidding. Did I? I don't think I know. I never had
tank a NOS in there.
I never had nitrous
on a stock motor.
I never had nitrous.
Stock single jingle.
Blow that thing up, dude. Don't play single jingles with nitrous was the thing.
I never even dared.
Yo, single jingles. First of all, hold mad boost.
Well, probably because there's low compression. If I honestly never.
No, the blocks are strong. Actually, like certain ones had like strong blocks. Like OGs would know about this. Like literally single cam, turbo, 30 pounds, 100 or like a 50 shot of nitrous was a wave.
A wave for one pass. until
No,
you blow up.
people were running. That's what I'm saying. People were running this
On
down
a
the
single?
track. Watch in the comments. If there's some OGs on this channel, they will tell you.
Nah, I guess yeah.
People
That's
were
what I wanna
making
know.
like people making like 450 on these things.
450 on a single jingle.
Yeah,
D16.
dead serious.
I
Interesting.
don't even know if that car would last.
No, it did.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
what I'm saying. It was actually pretty strong. Like,
Nah,
they
I know
would be
people
running,
have
like, let's say
boosted,
they run a little bit lower boost, like 22 pounds, which seems like a lot, but like little.
That is a lot.
You know what I mean? But bro, these things were holding it.
Crazy. Maybe they had work done. I don't know.
Bro,
I honestly
let
never.
me ask you a question on like a real Honda head thing, right? How many times have you blown a single cam, or anyone you know
My head went on mine.
on a single cam?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
that's
the
impressive.
bottom end, I didn't have any. I don't think I had any issues with it.
See, I wish we had YouTube in this time because
I
we
know.
would have like regular events in my town of like, okay, yo, he's gonna swap his motor. All right, cool. Let's try to blow it up. And we would literally do the most to get these
that
things
sounds
to
fun.
blow up. And it would take so much effort. And it really shows you like how strong a little single cam could be.
Yeah, because they're not that much
I think
money.
the walls are really thick on it. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure the walls on like the single cam are like retarded thick.
I have no idea. I just never tried. I know there was. So if I did see a turbo or boosted single, it was fun.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
it
a
was-
couple guys like even now still doing those little.
No,
single
now
cam
it's
builds.
crazy. Now
like,
it's crazy.
on like TikTok, like those sleeper builds
Yeah.
with like a boot. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Now it's
Like
crazy.
stock motor, and they're putting 30 pounds of boost in it, no nitrous, and it's hitting, or 20 pounds of boost and run a little.
I'm not.
50
I'm not
shot.
saying it's not possible.
It was a thing though. It was a thing.
I wouldn't. So I at the time I
we
wouldn't
would
know.
throw the craziest eBay kit on these cars to blow them
eBay
because we're gonna
kits, yeah.
swap it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're gonna swap it. So we would do whatever. I mean, one time we like drained all the oil out of this one single cam and took turns literally took the oil pan off and started doing burnouts. And we would take turns doing burnouts. And it got to the point where we could not blow the single cam up, knocking like hell. Could not blow it up. We take it on Route 37 and start street racing people in this thing, banging gears, like getting smoked by like a Camry, but we cannot blow this thing
Street
up.
racing. What?
Bro, it took us like good 3 races to actually blow this thing up. Like no oil, not a drop of oil in this
I
thing.
know. I do believe you. It's just that like you would only know if you tried it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the only way you would. And
And-
that's what I'm saying. Like you really gain to realize like, yo, these single cams are,
No,
one,
they're-
Honda reliability was like retarded. Like,
Well, it's a Honda, yeah.
yeah, but I'm just saying that's when you learned it. You know what I mean? That's when you're like, okay, wow.
Right.
Not just everybody saying the typical, oh, it's a Honda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when you actually like, yo, holy shit. You know? And then actually doing it and beating the hell out of it. No oil. Like, how does this thing last?
That's hilarious.
And then once we blew it up, then you swap it that night, you know, and then
That's hilarious.
from there.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
So, all right. So you got to. So from single, what was your first B series?
It was B series, yeah. It was just
Wait, the hatch was in B
the
series.
hatch. Yeah, the hatch was B series. This is the one that I bought off that old lady with the
Oh, you talking about the EK9 hatch?
no EG.
So it was a B series.
It was originally single cam.
Oh, so okay, right.
I had the single cam.
Okay, you had the single cam, but when did you? Oh, so you had the B series
Yep.
in the EG.
Found someone on
Okay.
B20 VTEC to swap it because I didn't know how to swap at the time.
Okay.
Also bought the motor off him. It was just an LS,
LS full body.
full
yeah.
LS.
Full
and then I went LS VTEC naturally.
with
you
the
know, like
B16
everyone does.
head.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a full B18, then B16 head, and then I blew that up.
That was a thing though. The LS V swaps.
Yeah, and like the cams like
Yeah,
perfectly.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my god! So then blew that up, and then that's when it became that was full build time, I believe.
With that same
No.
motor.
Swapped the motor back in, another LS long block, and then we did it. Or no, not an LS long block. Actually, yeah, it was LS block B18 head or B18C head. So it was a Type R block,
Type R, right.
head, and then turbo kit, eBay.
On that low compression. Yeah, that's what the LSs are known
Yeah.
for. Low compression.
And then eBay turbo kit, and that kind of boogied a little bit. But then as I got I really got lucky with an eBay turbo kit because that thing still it was phenomenal the whole way. I never
You
had
could
an
find
issue
some
with it.
good ones,
It
but
was like CX Racing, but it was
Yeah, I remember
it was-
CX Racing.
It was like pretty good.
yeah, I remember CX Racing. That's so funny.
And then what happened after that? So then I started piecing together, because like cheap eBay,
Yeah.
600-700 horsepower or $600-700 dollars for this kit. And then I started piecing the real parts.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well, until the turbo blows up, then I'll get ready for a new one. But then now it's like, let's get real intercooler piping. You know, let's get real blow off valve. Let's get real wastegate, all this stuff, you know, and just start piecing it together.
Building, yeah.
And then next thing I know, it's like, okay, this turbo's not blowing up, but it's time to go big. And so I threw a bigger turbo on it. And this it was like a 50 mil. I think I just went from a 50 mil to a 50 mil. I don't think I went big turbo at this time. I think I went just 50 mil eBay to like Garrett 50 mil. Garrett. Actual 50 mil. And then tuned it. It was fast. It was pretty quick. I want to say it made like close to 4 on like safe tune, like 380 or something like that. And
back then, that
was
good.
A rocket at the time. I was smoking everything.
Those are good numbers for Hondas. I feel like anywhere from 4 to 600.
I'll tell you what, that's where it's funnest.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's more consistent too at that power
and less
level.
braking. You know what I mean? That car was, when that car made, like, I did a couple more things, and then when that car made, like, it was like just roughly around 450, was the best time of my life in that car. Like, that was...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those are good. Like, that's...
You're smoking everything. If a Gallardo pulls up next to you, it's see you later. Like, there was no better feeling than that. You know what I mean?
Back then, yeah, Gallardo.
Yeah. You're smoking everything that comes up next to you. I don't care who... Your dad's Corvette, bring it out. Like, I don't care. Like, so you just feel like the man at that time. Especially where I was at, because now I'm living down south of, Toms River area. So this is like... No one... There wasn't racing like Newark, Jersey City, you know what I mean? Like that area. Like they don't know what high boost is out there. You know what I mean? So like no one really had Hondas. They're thinking Hondas are still like, that's like an economy car.
Economy cars, yeah.
You know, so that was still that time where they didn't know.
Right.
So when they're bringing out this, supercharged vet.
At that time, it was Corvettes, right? What were they? G8s, Pontiacs, and stuff like that.
Yeah, the G8s was a big thing, and then they would do the CTSVs and stuff like that.
CTSVs were
then they would take like the superchargers from that and throw it on the other one and stuff. Evo, there was some popular Evos at the time. There was a lot of DSM stuff.
DSM was huge, yeah.
DSM was huge, but not, like I said, still not in this area. You got to remember, I'm in like white boy townish, so at least for the racing scene was mainly white boys.
Yeah.
So it's all LSs or big blocks, old school stuff. You know what I mean?
Old school,
like this is like, I'm still the tin can at this point. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, lock that shit up. Like
that's when it's most fun though.
Because it was just such an unknown. You know what I mean? I was futuristic in a cowboy town. Like all they know is push rod. You know what I mean? Like they don't. Yeah. There's nothing else.
I don't think that Honda's got a lot of appreciation up until more so recently, as being known as like laptop. Like the laptop is like the biggest thing with the Hondas now.
Right.
Back then, it was like, it's pretty common for somebody with a car like that to make power and beat people, but it was still frowned upon to have a Honda. You know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Now I guess it's because of TikTok and Instagram and the memes. Yeah. With having a laptop and a Civic, it's like, oh, it's a big deal, but it's like this has been a common thing for years. Like,
right. It has been. Civics, there was a laptop in that car at all times.
Yeah, all times. It's a very common thing. So. So how was it going from single to B series? I mean, for a D series to B series, it was like a big difference.
World difference. Right? World. It's kind of like to put it in any kind of perspective, and I think it's still an understatement. Is like when you get like your first turbo car and then do like your intake exhaust downpipe tune. Yeah, like that world of a difference where it's just like a whole new love for a car.
Yeah,
a whole new, you just bought a brand new car basically. That's how it seems. So yeah, that was. Amazing. Yeah, because then going turbo was even crazier.
That's the thing. You just said turbo, so like I didn't go from D series to F series with the S2000. I went from like that to actually maybe I did. I think that was I had a Corolla in between.
You look like you drive a Corolla.
that Corolla was fire. It was a 97 Corolla, but yeah, from the S2 to the S2000, like even having that stock to go unboosted. It was like a new car.
Hold a lot of boost too. Only thing that doesn't hold up on those are the rears.
Whole new car and forged internals and all that stuff too.
Oh, you went boost in your S2K?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I crashed it. Yeah, I talk about it pretty much every single episode.
Pretty much
every single episode. Yeah,
I had S2000 too.
So let's get to the Type R. Mm-hmm. Right? How'd you get the car in here at that time?
Okay, so a little backstory to get. All right, so you know how there's always this. This is going to sound crazy on camera.
Well, hold on. Because you got to be careful. Well, I don't even know if it matters if it's even like, because it's old school, right? That car is legal now, obviously, right?
Now, yeah.
Now. Okay.
Well, so no. So that's what I was going to get into, okay?
Got to be careful.
This is the biggest thing, and nobody knows about this, right? So I feel like still to this day, okay? Everyone always says this whole 25-year import law.
Okay.
People would go crazy when I show them I have a New Jersey title with 10 digits on my VIN. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, what? How is that legal? How is that legal? It's not illegal to have the car here. It's not at all. It's illegal to import it here. So if you can get it here any other way,
right?
That's the only tip I'm going to give because there's mad different ways. I mean, I know people, I've imported cars for people like brand new. You know what I mean? Like 2017 in 2017, like GTRs for them. You know, like a brand new GTR, Nissan GTR, not a Skyline. You know what I mean? Like, like new GTRs in 2017 brought it to the States in a certain way. It's not illegal to have it here. It's illegal to import it here. So if you bring it straight from there to here, that's the only tip I'm giving you. Straight to here is illegal. There's another way to do it though.
I have a question. About this before you. So is it, okay.
But yes, disclaimer, the Skylines were illegal because when they were getting imported here, they didn't do the crash testing, which they wanted.
Okay.
But this was a Civic, which was in the States already. So it was completely legal. My VIN was 10 digits. I didn't have to swap VINs or anything like that. If you pop my hood, because you know it's not on the dash on those cars, you pop my hood, it matched my title. Okay. Exactly. And it was not, it was well younger than 25 years.
Interesting. So I have a question.
But no one knows that still.
Not saying that you did this, right? Because I still don't know how you got the car here.
I'll tell you off camera though.
Yeah. All right. So is it possible to send the car in parts?
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to cut it up.
But I don't want to do that.
Right. Who wants to do that? I would not recommend that. Because that's just like you're basically totaling your car and then
putting it back together.
It. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So I would not recommend that.
I mean, I don't want to speak too. I don't want to speak.
But no, people do that. You know, that front clip. That's how people do conversions.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day when I used to look for like JDM motors.
You could ship the whole car, but it's probably not worth it because you can get damn near the same thing unless you want the bronze tinted glass on or something like that. But it's almost not worth it. Because
I used to see back in the day on what is it called? JDM where they sell the motors.
Oh,
Tiger.
Yeah, it has a little dragon.
Yeah. What is it called?
Incarnate.
Tiger JDM or something like that. They used to sell blocks, long blocks like JDM.
Yeah. Well, there's a place in Kearney, JDM Depot.
No, but this is back then. This is like in 2000 and
JDM Depot was back then too. I bought motors from them.
I don't think I ever went to that site.
No, but this was.
I think it was Tiger JDM.
This is in Kearney, New Jersey. I think they're still around.
This company was probably in Cali or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But they used to have front clips on there, and I said, like, who's gonna buy this, and why would you even ship it here?
Yeah.
But then I started thinking, like, later on, like, well, I'm sure there's probably cars or shells that they can probably get here too.
Yep.
But I don't even know where you would even find that. But I mean, I never understood why they would sell the front clips until actually the Integras, they were doing the front swaps.
So I mean, because you can kind of do whatever. It's easier just. Instead of like physically, going to Japan and like manhandling and taking all the stuff out, and then sending the motor over, it's like, okay, one cut, send the whole front clip. Now we could sell everything. And if someone wants the whole clip, or we could part the clip out. I mean, someone wants the brake caliber, someone wants the 5-lug conversion, someone wants, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so they could really sell everything. The motor included everything, you know what I mean? Steering wheel, all that stuff was good money. The dash was good money. Or you could just be like, okay, take the whole clip and just weld it on.
Yeah.
So, you had different options of it. So that's...
I'd probably be safer welding on a Civic rather than something like a Skyline or a GTR or something like that.
I mean, it's the same thing as long as the job's done right, but I would never want to do that at all. I would feel sketchy, especially if you wanted to make it like some kind of race car or something like that. Then you're...
No, 100%. That's definitely sketchy.
You got to have some crazy welding skills for that.
I
would not. I just wouldn't. And then nonetheless, if it rusts and you can't see it in that spot...
Especially in New York, definitely going to rust.
Yeah.
So, now you had the Type R, got it here, right? Yep. How do you even, like at that time... How were you even building the car? Like, where were you finding parts for it? Like, did you have to?
So this at this time now we have Instagram.
Well, I'm saying back then we don't have Instagram.
Right. So this was like forums and stuff like that. But the car was damn near stock.
Bone stock.
Damn near. Right. Yes. But it had all the bells and whistles that I wanted. It had Recaros, like Type R.
Crazy. So it had Recaros.
Factory.
The red ones, right?
Yeah, the red Recaro's factory, it had, the red stitching on the boot, which like everyone would like want to buy one, or, even the shift knob, everything was factory, which was like, this was what everyone in America built their car to be.
I know those seats were my dream seats.
Exactly. So it was just like, you had it all in one.
Yeah.
So when I was like, what do I want to do to this car? And when I was facing that, it was how do I want to mod this car? Because I feel like anything that I do was almost taking away from what it is.
Right.
So it had to be tasteful. And with that being said, I kind of just went almost OEM plus with it, but as well as like I wanted to source all my parts Japanese made, even though brand new, but just Japanese brands. I didn't want, and for a little while I didn't have some Japanese parts on it. You know, I had
in the beginning, probably.
But that's kind of like how I found my path. You know what I mean? So like, I didn't want to put Skunk 2 parts on it. Not saying anything's wrong with Skunk 2, but it's not made in Japan.
Right.
So I wanted everything to be authentic Japanese. You know, I could have went cheaper and got like Brembo brakes for it, but instead I wanted spoon. And like, I didn't want just regular spoon. I wanted like S2000 spoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to...
The blue ones, right?
The blue ones, yep. And then like, even like the wheels and stuff like that, like I didn't want to put a BBS on, even though that was my favorite wheel at the time.
Yeah, that's still classic. That's a classic.
It's classic, but it's not Japanese.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying for the build? So everything had to be origin Japanese as the car came to like the end of its life. You know what I mean? And like I had even sponsorships for certain brands that I would turn down because it wasn't Japanese made. You know, like even like seats, I wouldn't do it. Seat belts, I had to do. I only want to do Takadas. You know?
How do you take out those seats? When you get a JDM, when you get an actual
you
Type
gotta
R,
be in it. You gotta be in it.
Why would you take those seats out?
But of course, every company's like, oh yeah, you're getting some.
No, hell no. You're not taking my Type R seats out of here.
Yeah, you would think.
Get the hell out of here.
I mean, like, I guess the only thing that, and honestly, I don't even think it's respectable, but I guess maybe is like DC5 Type R seats, but like for what?
For what?
Or like, or if like you switched it out for a cooler color, like the yellow or the blue,
which is
or
super,
confetti.
super. How much do those seats go for? You think now?
I want to say the yellow set goes for around 8,000 now or so. Like,
and the red one's probably like 5.
Nah, the red ones they're kind of common because they were.
Are
in a
they
lot
real
of cars.
authentic ones though?
Yeah, of course, mine were. But
no,
what
I'm saying like if you buy them.
Oh, yeah, because now now that they're 25 years legal, now it's just easier to import. That's the whole thing. It just makes it easier to import. Now you get every car that came with it. Even Volkswagens had some of the Volkswagens had them in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like there's so many cars that had those seats in it. You know, so now that it's easier to import it, it's like they're a dime a dozen. So they're not as expensive. It was just when they were rare to find in Japan, then it's rare to find even more here.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, because I've been so out of the loop with the Honda stuff that even back then those seats were so much money.
Yeah,
and like if you had
they were crazy. They were crazy.
People were selling them on the forums.
I was
they
flipping
did have them. Yeah,
I was buying them and cleaning them up with like wool light. You know what that is?
Well, why is it sound wool light?
It's like a detergent, but it's for like baby clothes.
I think I know.
So because like it's mad scary when you're washing.
No, I'm
suede.
thinking about something else. I'm thinking about Pledge. I don't know why I thought of a Pledge spray. You know what I'm talking about? Well, like wait,
go home.
Yeah, my bad.
So I was just cleaning them up and flipping them things, man. They were good.
So, what was the highlight of this car? Like, what was the peak of it, and why'd you get rid of it?
Okay, so the peak of it was, I guess, going to all these car shows and stuff like that,
and that's how you became known.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, because that's when Instagram started, and I think my name was like Boosted Frankie or like
Boosted Frankie. Okay.
Yeah, on like Instagram or something like that. Because like I said, I had my bubble, and I still had it even through the time.
So you had 2 cars.
I had both cars. Yeah.
Damn.
And then just car shows, stuff like that, winning awards. That was cool. Stuff like that.
Are any car shows that were that are around now? Like,
of course, Honda Day.
Honda Day is popular. Yeah, of course.
Like that was a big one. Which really made me mad because one time I came in second. And I lost to another EK, but the EK had the category that I only wanted to go in was JDM. The judge didn't really know much about cars at all.
So why is he a judge?
Exactly my point. And I know the judge. I'm gonna tell you who the judge was after this.
Okay.
And the other guy had more stuff done. But here's what made me mad because the car was phenomenal. It was gorgeous.
Did he have a?
I'm not knocking
JDM?
his car at all. His car was fire. But we're in the JDM category.
Right.
He had like a K-swap. He had he was sponsored by Skunk 2, so he had mad Skunk 2 parts on it. That's the only thing that bothered me because my purpose built was everything on this car was Japanese.
Right.
But I don't know if they judge it like that because I think they just judge it on, the JDM category. All the real JDM cars are bunched together.
Maybe, or they
Do you know what I'm saying?
judge it.
Like it's not like they're not looking for authentic Japanese parts. They're just looking at all these cars, all these real Japanese cars are bunched together. So maybe that's why. Whatever, no big deal. But that was my purpose built for it. Had me hot in the moment.
So who was the judge?
I'll tell you off camera.
He didn't want to explain.
Because you know him.
Oh, does he have a?
No.
He doesn't have a car. Okay,
no.
Maybe you don't. Okay.
So wait, who's the first place then?
This dude Anthony. I forget his last name. He had this green. I think it was a bubble. It wasn't EK. It was a bubble.
Right-hand drive.
It was dope, huh? Yeah, right-hand drive.
So the car, to be in the JDM category, you have to be right-hand drive. It has to be like from.
Yes. Yeah. I believe from Japan. I would hope. I don't know if his was imported or converted, but this thing was sick. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad car. It was way cooler than my car. Just wasn't in the same, like in my opinion, the category.
You said it was what was it again?
It was a bubble. It was a lime green.
EG or EG?
EG, yeah. And I want to say I don't quote me on this, but I want to say it was like that Lamborghini green, like that really sick green. It was fire. The car.
Interesting. It sounds like it. Was it boosted? Or no.
I don't think at the time, but I think later on in life it got supercharged or something like that.
Damn. Yeah, I never even knew.
Yeah,
what year was it? 2013, right?
What'd you say?
2013?
Yeah, around that time, yep.
Yeah, I would have no idea. At that time, I think I had the S2000, my first one, but I wasn't really out there like that. So they had a Honda Day and what other car shows? Because there's a lot of car shows that happen in Jersey that people go to.
I mean, there was a lot of car shows, but at the time, and this isn't technically a car show, but one of my favorite events to go to was Fresh Meat. Shout out to Ray.
So but that's no longer a thing, right?
I think he still does some things sometimes. Like we did something recently right before Statement opened. We did something with them. They did a Fresh Meat in Atlantic City.
With the sneakers.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I haven't really stayed on top because I'm so involved in business. But man, at that time, Fresh Meat was the shit. All of the coolest shit came out. Like I don't care the biggest car show you go to.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Like that shit was like, okay, cool. Like you see the same shit you see on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. But like people that were secretly like building their car, not for Instagram and like some sick shit. I mean, your first like wild, like Viper swapped RX-7. Like you see that out there. It like crazy shit.
Wow.
Like I seen a M5 swapped E30, E46 M3. Like with the V10 in it. I'm like, what? Like this is like you've seen some really, really, really wild stuff only at Fresh Meat. But it's because it wasn't a competition. You're not going for a trophy. You were going there to meet like-minded, true enthusiasts. And that was the coolest thing about it because no one's there to compete and who has the more stance and the offsets. And it wasn't about, that was blowing up. So that was good in the car shows. But when you went to Fresh Meat, it was different. It was a different breed of people that went there. And when you built your car for Fresh Meat or to, not for Fresh Meat, but when you built your car and you loved your car and you had like it was just different. You didn't base it off of what the next guy was doing. You went to Fresh Meat.
Which now it's a lot of that now.
That's all it is.
That's literally all it is now.
It's like, what's his specs? What's his wheels? I want to do that, or I want to do a little more aggressive. So I'm going to take his and modify it. There's no originality, and that's kind of what pushed me out a little bit, I wouldn't say it pushed me out, more my business kind of pushed me a little bit out of the car scene. I still love it and I always will. Yeah. I'll forever have something fire. You know what I mean? But like, that is what helped me cope with not caring as much for the car scene because I'm like, everyone is doing the same thing, you know?
Yeah, now it's very, very different.
It's way different. Even I can't even talk bad about it.
I wish Fresh Meat was still around because I swear these people would still build these cars.
Was this a weekly or annual?
I think it was seasonal.
Oh, so seasonal.
Because like I remember like a fall one and I remember like a spring one and stuff like that. So there wasn't many of them. But when you went, people were showing out.
In Jersey.
In Jersey, yeah.
And it was at the track?
I don't know if he did it. I don't know if he did. I know he did some other ones. I know he does stuff with like Tuner Evolution or used to, where I don't know if they still do it or not. But yeah, that show goes, in my opinion, goes down the history of best shows ever. I would rather go to that.
Better than First Class Fitment?
Oof, that's a tough one. But truthfully, I will say yes.
Really?
I will say yes. You see the craziest quality there. But once again, what you're seeing is based off of someone else. You know what I'm saying? So when First Class Fitment came around, I mean, everyone wanted to get in that show. I remember when I got accepted, I was doing backflips. You know what I mean? Like I was so excited for that. But like it's also that like peak time of Instagramming. And this was, what did this guy do? How can I be better? And they took what they did and did it better. Raps and this and this and this. There was no, like I said, originality.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the first person to come out with a mint car. Oh, the first person to come out with that Nardo gray color. Like, come on, who cares? It's a color. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not like originality to it. Like, when's the last time you seen, like I said, a V10 in an E46? Like you didn't see that stuff. And you would see some wheels. Like I'm like, I had a powder coating shop. Like I knew my wheels.
Yeah.
I'm like, what fucking wheels are those? Like I've never seen that in my life. Like I can't even explain how to even talk about this. Like that's the stuff you've seen. The originality was there, and that time was crazy. This is like, what car like came out. I forget what show it originally came out in, but it was only one of the things that was like Instagram wise that kind of blew my mind.
Yeah,
it was like a Volkswagen, like a GTI or something like that, a little Volkswagen hatch. It might even have been First Class Fitment that my first time seeing it. But he was on air ride like every Volkswagen,
right?
But his tank was his roll cage. Now that's the originality that I'm talking about.
Was the tank welded to the roll cage?
No. His roll cage was hollowed, like hollow, aluminum, And the air and the pressure
through,
was like he had a pressure valve on his roll cage in the back, like this X bar, like the X bar in the back, and he had the little pressure valve. And we're all like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's where my tank is." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like some people was like trying to hide tanks and stuff. His was hidden in plain sight. Fire. Like he literally was like, "Yeah, look," and like popped his air down. Like the little little pull thing. It's like I'm like, "Yo, that's fucking sick!" Like that was some shit that you've never seen before.
I still have never seen. That's crazy,
right?
Though. That's
or
wild.
like the dude James, I forget his last name, but he was in elite lower class with me at the time. He had, I forget the name of that type of suspension, but it's like a coilover into a coilover. It's retarded. You got to look it up, and I don't want to butcher
what's the
name.
benefits of having that? What was like
retarded handling, like suspension wise, it was crazy. But like, I'm trying to think of the name of it, but yeah, all kind of like just weird stuff like that. Stuff that like, you know what I'm saying? That you don't see no more. You don't see originality. It's the different set of wheels, different set of colors, different color combos. Okay, cool. Or in the racing world, who makes more power and who's a better racer and not shit talking, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like there's no originality in that stuff. And I sound like a broken record, and the whole world does because they all say there's no originality, but still no one's doing anything original.
Yeah,
it's
kind of hard to though now because
I'd rather see Lambo doors on these cars half the time. Bring it back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
I'm about to do that on my car.
At least then there was some originality.
Put a Lambo doors.
Do it. At least there's some kind of difference. You know what I'm saying? I on the way over here, I was looking.
Supers with Lambo doors already.
I was looking at like a post on Instagram, and on the way over here, and I was like, okay, that's the weirdest, ugliest thing I ever seen, but like it's still different. The dude has a crazy system in his car. It was like a 240. It was on Facebook. Wild system in it. Right. Yeah. The whole thing was a system, literally. I'm like, where's this dude's steering wheel? It's a subwoofer for his steering wheel. And it really was a working subwoofer, but that's how he steered the car.
So that it works?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure you're not playing it while driving. Don't get me wrong. But the car did drive. Not saying that that's cool or I give him props or anything like that, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like someone stepped out of the different, of the ordinary. And that's weirdly appreciated, but it's just good to see something different. A lot of people would do different and get hate for it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's you have to do these exact mods, and this is the starter kit, and every car looks the same, or one has more aggressive this, or one paid more for a certain tune that backfires better. Whatever the case may be, but the originality is not there.
No, that's a fact. I think a lot of people who are OGs agree with you, and I feel like a lot of stuff is not original. Even with street racing too, it's like everyone has
the same thing.
Yeah. Everyone's got the same setups. They go to the same people that work on their cars.
Yeah.
But it's tough though because a lot of stuff on social media has like
such
it's
an influence.
easier. You have more access to things now.
Yeah.
Back then,
they have it all cookie cutter now.
Yeah, it's cookie cutter too.
You know, it's like I said, it's like a package. Like they even make fun of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they're talking about stage 1, stage 2.
Stage 1, stage 2.
Even in like street racing, there's really no like originality, I guess, either. Yeah, like you said, everything is the same. Shit, I remember this kid with a neon in my town, a regular neon, not an SRT4.
Not an SRT4.
Regular neon.
That was another car too. I wanted so bad.
And this thing was gutted to all hell. When I say gutted, I'm talking the next level of gut. Like I'm saying, you poke it and you're denting the car because he shaved the doors. The damn thing was damn near see-through. Like it was gutted, and like
windows still worked. Like
I don't think he had windows in the car at all. Like retarded. But this thing was whooping ass. Like it was.
Was it orange?
No, it was this little green one, and it was a regular neon. And he turboed it, and I don't know if it was an SRT motor or it was just a neon on hell. But it was such a backyard build that like if he lost a race, which I'd never seen him, or if he was gonna race something faster, like this dude came out with this wild Corvette to run him because this kid was just like mopping shit up this whole night on the streets. So this like big cars were coming out, GTRs and crazy Audis, like wild shit was coming out. And I'm like, all right, bro, like you locking this thing up? He's like, yep. Pops the hood, turns up the boost controller. I'm like, that's real 2004 of you, but okay. Like literally like eBay boost controller, looking at the lines, like, is this line hooked up right? Like
what?
Not even bolted to like the nothing. It's just dangling. And this kid was walking shit. This kid was like,
I believe it.
He was just, I don't know what it was. It was just a freak. Like this thing was mopping shit up.
SRT4s, I mean, it was honestly back then. I just remember SRT4 and Hondas going back and like it was like there was those guys that had.
But a lot of times the SRT4 just had too much torque, so they just
too much torque. They break a lot. These motors are not really the greatest. I mean,
this kid was doing like 160 in this neon.
What?
Like retarded.
Steering wheel shaking.
I had my Porsche 911 Turbo at the time, and this kid walked me.
in an SRT4.
I don't even know if it was an SRT4. That's what I'm saying. It was such a Frankenstein.
Yeah, and a neon.
Yeah, it was retarded. This thing he walked this like 1,000 horsepower GTR the same night. I mean, this thing couldn't have more than 500-600 horsepower, but for some reason, I don't know. He was walking shit.
And he walked you in the Porsche.
Yep. Yeah. And that's probably the only car that beat that Porsche. That Porsche was a monster. It was a rocket.
Damn.
I mean, I would lose to GTRs once they had anything past E85 and bigger turbo. So if they were full bolt on E85, it's a good run. It kind of came down to my driving because I was manual and their tune. But if they were full bolt on, I'd smoke them. If they're full bolt on E85, it's a good race. And then if they had upgraded turbos, they got me. That's kind of like my judging of it. That's
crazy. Yeah, because like at that time, the GTRs had GTRs came out in 2009.
Right? 08, technically.
08.
Because I had one.
08. So around that time, and when was that?
Well, no, this was after. We were talking after
later
now.
on.
We're talking, this was maybe 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So we're talking 5 years after. This is, so what I have? It was, I have to like try to do an order of like cars in my head of like what I own.
So from the Type R, you still kept the car, you got rid of it, and then you got the Porsche? Or you had other cars, same process?
Probably like 30, 40 cars in between that.
So how many cars do you have at once?
At one time? Like the most?
Jesus Christ.
I don't know, 8.
So with the Type R?
No, at the Type R, I had my Civic, I had my Subaru, I had a WRX wagon, but full STI'd out because they didn't make the STI wagon then.
Yeah.
So STI swap, wagon, STI seats, everything. I had my Evo 8. The Type R, the Bubble, the Honda, the Subaru Evo. Yeah, so at that time it was like around 4 cars. Juggling 4. You know what I mean? Because like I would sell one and buy something else and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like back and forth with that. And then I couldn't tell you how many cars were in between them, but then I got my first 911, but that was an older one. It was 84.
Oh, it was 84.
84 911. My first one. One.
84.
And that one was going to be RWB kit.
It was going to be RWB.
Yeah, I sent the deposit and everything to RWB LA, and they were going to be doing it. Zumi did the mock-up, actually, of it. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be the first RWB in New Jersey, well, obviously, and the first RWB on like the East Coast. This is like RWB just blowing up, and it was very, very, very expensive. Anyway, they sent me the deposit back, all that good stuff, and because I kind of changed paths, and I was like, instead of doing this, I'm going to open my powder coating business.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. But then I missed speed. So, actually I had my NSX before that. My first NSX before that.
Yeah, the NSX is what I remember you had that when I first met you, but then
Which one, the black one or the red one?
The red one.
Okay.
The red one. The black one you had first, right?
Yeah, the black one I had first. Black one I had in like 2014 or
What year was that black one?
I was 23 when I bought my first one, the black one.
And what year was it?
What year was the car?
Yeah.
91.
91.
Yeah.
So I had the flip taillights?
Yeah, well, the flip headlights is all the way up until 2000.
Taillights. Headlights.
Yeah. So, standard flip headlights, but I really wanted 91 because it no manual steering, or it was manual steering, no power steering.
Yeah.
A manual steering rack. It was the best driver car. It was the 91, 92.
Right. You had S1000 also?
Yep, I had S1000. That was quick though.
So
just flipped it kind of.
So out of all these cars, out of all these Hondas, what was like your favorite car? The car that you would drive on a daily basis, and the car that you would put the most money into, and if you wanted to go fast. It's an interesting question. Because it's like
Yeah. The car, honestly, I love the NSX. I would definitely, even though I've had a lot of cars and like a couple of them were like Civics, they were never ever the same. Like one might be 2-door, one might be 4-door, one might be, different year, whatever. I've never bought the same car twice. The NSX is the only car I've bought twice. So I wholeheartedly love that car. I would love to get another one.
Yo, I'm telling you, everybody who gets those cars, they have like an attachment to it.
Oh, it is like nothing else. I mean, there's
even Calvin wants to get one.
There's not many cars that can compare to that, man. There's not. It's just it's not the fastest. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Obviously,
it's more for the track, right?
It's more for the track, but like driver to car connection is retarded. You nothing will stir your soul like that car, and. I mean, like just the backstory. I mean, it hits every point you could possibly want. It's a timeless car. It looks good. It sounds phenomenal with the right exhaust. You get I think it's like what's the exhaust I always put on them? I forget the name of it. But funny enough, it's like one of the cheapest exhausts you can get for it.
Really?
And it is the best sounding one. I'm drawing a blank with what the hell the name is. Whatever. It sounds so fucking good. I mean, it sounds like a Ferrari. You know what I mean? Or I think it sounds better technically, but like that's a good way to like terminology wise.
Yeah.
So it's a really good sounding car. It's really fun to drive. It keeps you. It does put you in your seat a little bit. You know, it's like it's not that fast, but it's about as fast as like a boosted or a stage 2 STI. You know, like intake down.
Okay,
tune.
that's
like,
pretty quick. Yeah,
it's decent. You know, it's not the worst, but it's decent, especially if you drive it well. And it handles amazing, and it gets the looks. I mean, it does everything. It checks every box possible.
Yeah,
you know, except for speed.
Right.
But it does feel fast. You know,
there are fast ones though. There are fast.
Oh, of course, you can make them fast. You know, some people do the K swap boosted. That's fire. You know what I mean? Like, but that car with its true power plant is the best like power to weight ratio, and that thing is just like.
So between that and S2000,
if I wanted to go fast, I'd probably take the S2000.
Drivability, like why do you think it's better?
Oh, NSX, way better.
Interesting.
Way more comfortable.
Yeah, I could see definitely the comfort level for that car, for sure. And it was stick, right?
Yeah,
and both of them.
Yeah. You know, the interior was like designed by a pilot, so like you kind of like almost like lay.
It kind of gives those vibes when I see the interior of those cars.
So it's the engineering behind it was stupid, and they were set out to beat Ferrari, and they did. You know,
right.
And funny enough, if people actually do know their history on like JDM cars, the Skyline was coming out to beat Honda.
Yeah, so around that
Skyline,
time,
like actual name.
Yeah,
I think I forget which one it is. The GTR or something like that was like an experimental to beat Honda because Honda was killing shit.
Right. I remember. I don't know if I had this conversation with you or somebody else, but the Ferrari thing was definitely brought up.
Yeah, and I think like one of the first ones, like because I believe Enzo Ferrari, you know, the owner of Ferrari, or whatever.
Yeah.
He passed away when the first NSX came out, and I remember there was like a thing that said, like, "It's too bad you weren't here to see it," because it destroyed it. You know, it destroyed the Ferrari that it was competing with.
Damn. Yeah, Honda. Well, it's Acura. Same. I mean.
Yeah, whatever.
Same shit.
I'm happy that they're getting a lot more appreciation now, even though they did back then.
They're pissing me off.
But it's always right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the company. You mean? Right?
It's been the same thing forever. Why it pisses everybody off. Like the new Type S, the new Integra.
What do you think about it?
Fire. Looks awesome.
You like the new Type?
It looks ugly.
I think it looks dope. I think they're going in the right direction. The new Type R. Fire. Everything's great on it.
Wait, so why do you like the new Type? Why do you like the new
Type R? Yeah.
The new Type R?
Oh, not the Type R. The Integra.
I just think it's stylish. I think it looks good. I think it's classy. I think they did what they were supposed to do. They did a manual gearbox. They did everything.
The manual,
minus the power. I mean, it still has the same power that it did in 2000.
Yeah, they kept it true, authentic to what it was.
Yeah, but you're damn near double the weight. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not a GSR, bro. Like, you know what I mean? How do we boost 20 horsepower from then till now? And like, what are you going to compete with? Yeah, there's technology and all that good stuff, but like, you need more power. That car should be coming out with like 400 horsepower, in my opinion.
Maybe it's got potential though.
I'm sure it does, but that's a shame. That if your base is 2.3, I mean, look at what you're competing with. A 3 Series. Look at it. Well, something in its class.
What is that car going for right now? You know,
50 without like dealer markup.
The Integra is going for 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, expensive, bro.
Yeah, it's going for in the 50s,
bro.
So think about. I mean, that's like the Supra. No, it doesn't Supra.
Yeah, it's like 53 at the time when it's
like 55 now.
50. Yeah, now.
Right. I mean, if you talk like Camaros or anything like that.
I would never buy an Integra over a Supra.
I agree with you. Now, if that car had 400 or 500 horsepower, you might talk.
That's different.
You got some like people. Don't get me wrong. Honda people will always buy this stuff. You know, if they produce a product, and that's almost what's killing it because they're like, oh, we're going to put it out. They're going to buy it. And they do. It's like the Fast and Furious movies. Like, you don't want to watch this shit, but you have to go. You hope there's some racing in it.
That's literally how it is with Hondas.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, I feel like everybody needs to stop watching Fast and the Furious so like they could be like, oh shit, we fucked up. But everyone, it's still doing box office numbers and they're going to space. Now, I just heard that. I haven't even seen the last, since like,
they go to space.
Since like this 5th one, I think Fast 5 or maybe the 6th one or something like that is the last one that I even seen. After that, I stopped watching it because it's like, where's the racing? There's not even any racing.
It's just like crazy now.
And I mean, that's, you know, whatever. That's not a talk for now, but I feel like everyone needs to stop going so they could be like, hey, where did we fuck up? Oh, I don't know. Maybe by putting Nicki Minaj in the movie, like, or Cardi B, whatever it was. Like, I don't know, maybe there. Like, it's just like, you know, if everyone stopped going, they would maybe realize and go back to racing.
No,
You know,
that's,
and
that's
maybe
true.
if they stopped buying these Civics, don't get me wrong, when the Type R came out, fire, phenomenal, good, should have been all-wheel drive, and then it would have been a lot better, or even a little bit more horsepower. Cool. They were talking about some crazy thing that we're going to make that all-wheel drive with an electronic add-on. Fire. Never did that.
That would have been fire.
When the Type R, the first Type R that actually come to America, it was they were talking about removing the rear wheels, and you put these other wheels on that had electric motors in them from the new NSX, off the technology of the new NSX, because they have, the new NSX has 3 electric motors, one in between the motor and trans, and then the wheels. So taking it off that wheel assembly, putting it on the Type R, and it was like an option, and now you can make the car hybrid with all-wheel drive.
Wow.
And then they never went through with it, but it was really, really cool at the time, but I'm surprised that no one talked about it after, because I was like, this is like cutting edge fucking craziness.
It sounds expensive though.
I'm sure it was.
That's probably why a lot of the things now, they have to be careful with how much they're putting into these cars, because then it just increases the
price
value
so much. I mean, listen, you're charging $50,000 for an Integra. Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
What's the Type R at? 40?
What did I have
the new
idea.
one?
I don't even look at Hondas.
I think it's around like 40.
Yeah, so like,
but those cars,
okay, make it 60 and then do it.
Yeah, but those cars,
People will buy it.
boogie though. You could boogie in a Type R.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree.
You could boogie in those.
But that's what I'm saying. It was really weird because even like the displacement is smaller. Yes, they're making more power and stuff like that. And like that's always like Honda's thing. But like super small displacement. Yeah, it's making some power. But like when they say there's no replacement for displacement, yeah, you could argue turbo and stuff like that. But still, at the end of the day, there's only so far you can get now.
Yeah.
Even with turbo and all this stuff, there's only so far you can get. Now, why wasn't it a 2.5 liter turbo with the same technology? Now you're talking to a monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, what's it, a 1.5 they're doing it with? And the thing's doing
crazy.
numbers. Now imagine that same technology on like a 2.0 even. 2.0 turbo would be retarded.
A 2.0 was, S2K was 2.0.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like you could have done some numbers.
You could definitely
and that's what kind of pisses me off, because then it's
like
they're moving backwards and forward at the same time.
Because they got to keep up with the time, and everything now is getting away from like, it's all.
Yeah, but if you're building Type R, stop worrying about the. I mean, I understand there's some regulated stuff.
Yeah, they have to have electric now, and they're trying to emissions and all this stuff. Everything's like catering towards that now, unfortunately. Yeah. But
that's cool. So then we have some EV wheels put on the back of that thing. Like that would be great. You know what I mean? Make it 60 Gs. Like people will buy it. People will still buy it. There's motherfuckers out here spending $60K on a regular Integra Type R that was from 2001. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's people buying it. You have the loyalty there.
I wouldn't though. I always say that. I don't think it makes sense to buy a JDM unless you're chill. Like if you want to.
You're talking about the older school one. Old school.
Yeah, I would never spend $60K on an Integra.
It makes sense in an investment.
So I feel like somebody like you would buy it because you just constantly flip cars and you don't get emotionally attached to vehicles. Like,
no, I do, but I swear I turn that switch off.
But you only buy cars that, from my experience, from what I've known of you, is you only buy cars that have equity.
Yes.
Or that hold their value pretty well.
Which sucks.
Yeah. So
it's great. It's a great quality to have, but it sucks.
But not everybody does that. Some people are just looking to get the car, and they don't really care about if it's going to go up or down.
Well, that's kind of that's why I say it sucks, because you get spoiled with it.
Yeah.
When you have one or two cars that's done that, like my Civic Type R was kind of like the first one to do it.
Yeah.
I think I bought that car for like all in 13 to
which one?
The real Type R.
Back then, 13,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I sold it for like 20 when I was done with it.
What would that go for now, you think?
See, it's a weird thing, because the market goes up, and then when it's legal to import, and then everyone comes over, they're kind of
but
all
you
over.
think I don't think it'd be 13,000 for that now.
No, I still think that car would still pull 25 to 30.
Yeah,
But I was selling it for 20 at the time, and but that sucks. If you like certain cars, you can't buy them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, that's a fact.
So my whole life, I'm over here like, damn, what car should I buy next? And I'm like, well, I can't go buy a new Beamer because it's going to depreciate like hell. It's cool, but depreciate. Can't go buy a Mercedes, can't buy an Audi because they all depreciate. Okay, well, let me buy a couple years older. Okay, and then you come to the realization, like when I had my TSX wagon, that bagged one, like my little daily, and that thing was sick. But it was like at the same time, that was 2012, and I could get a 2017 Audi wagon for the same price with less miles. And I'm like, how does that make sense? They lose that much depreciation. That shows you why the Honda is the Honda, and why it holds so much value, and why the German is just so kind of trash and on a reliability standpoint. So I'm like, fuck. And I liked it more, and it had more amenities. Obviously, it's 2017 compared to a 12, but it showed me quick why it doesn't hold value.
Yeah.
And since that car, I've never lost money on a car before, ever.
Since the Type R, that's what I'm saying.
Every single car I've purchased, I've made money on.
So
my NSX was retarded of a flip.
The last one you just got rid of, right?
That one too.
So what'd you buy that for?
My black one?
Yeah. No, the red one that I know of.
30,000 cash. I paid for that
$30K.
car. Yep.
And then you sold it for, those cars go for 80 now though.
Yeah, I sold it for 70 something. You could, if you have the right spec, the right mileage, you're selling it for over 100 easily.
Damn, 80K for it. That's like,
Damn, you sold that for like, damn, you sold it for 80K?
Yeah.
that's double.
No,
That's
70K,
double.
70K.
Oh.
But my
Still double.
black
Still
one,
double.
my black one was a double as well. I bought it for 25 in Scottsdale, Arizona. Flew there, drove it back.
Yeah, you were telling me the story. You had the shitty tires on it, and you drove all the way across the country and came back.
Because the something I didn't know about the NSX, you know, obviously you learn more as you own them and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that 91 and 92, the alignment is so aggressive that because it's made for the track, that you'll blow through tires even if they're brand new, like so quick. So on the way back, I forget what state I was in, but it's like a snowstorm, and like I'm kind of like getting squirrely as I'm like regularly driving. I'm like, something's not right. So I was like, maybe this is just the car. Like I never drove mid-engine before. I never drove an NSX before I bought this thing, So whatever, I pull over and I'm looking. I'm like, it's like the tires are wet. So I'm like, I can't really see or like tell. Drive a little bit more, and I'm like, and then like it's time to go to sleep. It's nighttime and shit. So get a hotel, come back out. I'm looking at the car and I'm like, oh shit, my tires are fucked. So then come to find out, NSX people know this, how horrible it is to find tire combinations for this car.
Really?
Insane. There's
What's
like
the setup?
There's like 3 different tires you could buy, and that's it.
You can't buy
Maybe
any
4. No, you can get whatever tires you want in the rear. The front is the hard part. So if you want a matching set, there's like 4 sets, and they're like half of them are discontinued.
because of the size, or
Yes, because of the sizing. Because you have naturally it's like a 15 and 16 or a 14 and 15, and the thinness of the front tire
right?
it's retarded. Like
So the companies don't really make those that.
No, like if you were to buy these tires, it's specifically for an
For
NSX.
the
It does
NSX.
not go on anything else.
Wow.
So like I said, there's like 4 tires in if you want a matching tire.
Are they expensive?
Yeah, now they are. Yeah, but I mean, you could throw whatever. You could throw Michelin Pilot in the back and then put something different in the front. But I was like a stickler and wanted matching tires.
Right.
Not at the time though, because I was in dire need. So no one had this size tire either anyway.
Damn.
So I had to stay, even though I just woke up, I had to basically just stay in that town and get them overnighted to a nearby tire shop and then get them replaced. So they had to get overnighted, wild, dumb expensive, 2 brand new tires. By the time I got home, they were cooked again.
What?
Yep. Because like I said, it was so aggressive on the alignment. I still didn't know this. I'm like, why am I eating through tires? I'm thinking like something's wrong. It's just that they have such an aggressive alignment that.
Damn.
Yep. So you have to do a certain spec. Like if you do 95 spec alignment, like their spec, then you'll normally go through.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, but it's so aggressive that you just blow through them.
That's wild. Not too many people know that, because I don't really know too many people with NSX. Actually,
You got 2 guys.
So what's his name? Your boy?
Cubis.
Cubis.
Yeah, Brian.
And he just won a black one, a JDM.
Yeah.
And he literally put what, $500?
$500.
like a raffle?
$100. Yeah, it was a
For a
JDM.
raffle,
what was it? JDM?
Something
JDM World or something?
Japan,
Fire.
Yeah. So he
Is
just
it auto?
It is auto. He's converting it though.
All the right-hand drive ones are auto.
Yeah, he's converting it. But he has already a R33,
R32.
R32.
I had a couple of those.
You had R32,
R32, R33, and R34 I've had.
You had an R34.
Mm-hmm. Not GTR though, but yes.
What is it? GTT?
I did technically on paper own a GTR. I just flipped it. I didn't even see the car.
So you had a GTT?
A GTT, yeah, and then I had GTST. But yeah, that like some of those cars I actually seen, but I was importing them because I knew how.
So you were importing. You mentioned that before. So you were importing vehicles.
I wasn't like out there about it. I might post it on my Instagram. Hey, like Skyline for sale, real quick, and then what I mean. Like some people would call me, and that'd be it. You know what I mean?
Was that through the dealership, or that was because you?
No. It wasn't through the dealership. It was easy to transport the cars though because I had a dealer plate. So that made it super easy. I didn't have to like register the cars and stuff. So yeah, kind of ish through the dealership, but not really.
Right.
But no, that was just kind of like side pocket money.
Damn. So you had a dealership too, right? So how did you get into that?
The dealership?
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of all I knew, and I dropped out of school, so it was like.
Oh, so you were doing that? That was just like your hustle. Like
I was 20 years old when I owned my dealership.
So how?
But it wasn't like it sounds like a big thing. I mean, it was a shop like this, and it was like in the back somewhere, a little shop like this, and you just had to have an office to hang your license, like legally. But now it's a lot different. And I had like 2 cars, and they were like, $1,000 each. Like
That's how you
cheap.
started?
That's how I started.
With 2 cars, $1,000 each.
Yep.
And you sold both of those, and you worked your way up.
Kept flipping. That's it.
And these were like Jap cars, or like these are just like
regular cars,
regular
like
dailies
Ford,
people.
Little Toyota, whatever.
So what was your most? So you worked your way up to what? What were like what was the most expensive vehicle you sold at your dealership?
At the dealership?
Yeah.
Not much, honestly.
Or was like just more volume you were doing there?
Yeah, more volume, maybe 10K, because I didn't like to get up that high in price because logically, maybe not the smartest way to think about it, but at the time in my naive head, I was thinking like, who's gonna come here and spend more money than 10 grand when you could just go lease a car or buy another car?
True.
So why do you want something used? In my head, that's how I thought.
Yeah,
Not thinking, oh, hey, this is, and then I started getting more niche into stuff, and that went a little bit better, but not thinking like, who's gonna buy this little Civic when you could, and at the time, this is like when Hyundai was doing all these crazy leasing programs, and then Lexus like matched it. So you can go get a brand new IS 250 F Sport for nothing, you know what I mean, with shit credit. Why are you gonna buy this used Dodge Charger I have? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's true. So now you said
makes sense, but I mean, people were buying them. I was still selling them. So,
but you said that was your naive mindset back then. So now, what would you do differently
if I was to sell in the dealership?
Yeah,
I would focus on really niche markets.
Niche markets.
Yeah. So like, I wouldn't sell a Honda Civic, but I would sell a Honda Civic Mugen edition.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like super niche markets, like because like where you can't find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sell a regular Z06. It has to be a certain spec.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like enthusiast spec cars and stuff like that. Like all those like one-off that people are searching for and will pay double for it.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that way you can make your money because people are going to be. It's a car that's in demand, but only a certain person is going to come in there and actually spend the money that you're asking for because that's what it's going for. And you could put up a little bit,
because that's how we all like to buy them too.
Yeah.
It's the dream, and that's what you want. You know what I mean? Like you want a certain car before you buy it. You want this color. You want these options, and you might settle. Yeah. But this is what you want.
Right.
But like the person that sometimes wants it still gets it. So.
Did you sell any Civics there? Any JDM vehicles or no? Just like
not technically no.
No. But you still had a
I always like kind of still flipped my own cars, but that wasn't really through the dealership. Like my personal stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I still flipped like that kind of stuff.
So what do you recommend for younger? Like you was 20 years old, right?
I was 20 at the time,
right?
Yes.
You're 22 now, right?
2 years ago, yeah.
So what do you recommend for somebody who's, because what we never talk about on here is how somebody who's young can get into, buying parts for their car, how they can invest and keep spending money on their car, because a lot of people get the car and they may not have the money to be able to put parts on it. And that's a lot of the people now, even with the Supras, like they get these cars and they can't afford to put parts on it, and they just sit like stock for a long time.
Your average person still works 9 to 5.
Right. So what with what you do, because you're not a 9 to 5, right?
No, never will be.
So your mentality is a little different, and most people that I find who have businesses or obviously have a lot of cars, they have a different mindset when it comes to this. So what do you recommend for somebody who's 20 or younger to be able to afford a newer car or either parts that they want to put on their car?
Side hustle like hell.
Okay.
And when I say side hustle, I mean like start your side business. Don't quit your 9 to 5. You can continue staying at your 9 to 5, but if you're working 9 to 5, then you still have 5 to 9 to keep going with yourself. Work on yourself before you build someone else's dreams, obviously.
Right.
I mean, to me, that's common sense. To the world, it might not be. They would rather go home, watch Netflix, maybe roll a blunt, whatever. I think that's asinine. Like, you're literally making someone else rich as we speak,
Yeah. Netflix is,
like,
everything you're doing that. You watch
everything. You're watching, whatever, TV, anything. All that is just so, they'll scroll for 4 hours.
That's not...
You did nothing for yourself, but you made another man a ton of money. Or woman, you made some business owner money that day.
Right.
No matter if you worked at Tilly's, McDonald's, a sneaker shop, doesn't matter. You made someone else some money.
Yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say sneaker shop because we let our employees make some money, and you know that.
Yeah.
Which is why I like it, which is why I'm in that business. You know what I mean? I'd rather build an entrepreneur, the next one, than clip someone and just think of them as a pawn. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that whole corporate lifestyle, but I starting to understand it a little bit more now. But yeah, I think side hustles are huge. Like I said, if you work a 9 to 5, still work that 5 to 9 on yourself. Before making someone else rich, make yourself rich. And if you don't want to work harder, work smarter, because You know, in my day, I didn't have, I sound crazy and old when I say that, but, you know, we did have the internet, but we didn't utilize it how we could have and how we should have, how we can now. I mean, you guys have like AI and all that wild shit. Like you could literally have business plans drawn up by AI.
Literally.
And like, you know, and when I was doing the financial coaching and stuff like that, I had that one person in like Florida literally start a crazy cleaning business and never cleaned a house in their life, still to this day.
Damn.
Very successful now. You know what I mean? Like, and that's fire, you know, by literally going on Fiverr and making, you know, ads and call, you know, I told them like, go to a building that has, you know, a lot of apartments, you know, and call a cleaning company and say, hey, what does it take to clean one of these units? Cause they're normally all the same size. Right. So what does it take to like clean one of these units? And they're going to give you a rough estimate price and you just tax a couple $100 or maybe $100 on top and start putting your own flyers out. And then when they call you, you just direct it to them and bye.
Yeah, so you don't even have to physically.
That's just
be
working
out there
the smarter route. You know what I mean? But not always does it work like that. Some people need to be hands on. Some people like to be hands on. So it's more rewarding hands on as well because you can get further.
Right.
You know, but you know, once you make so much money, then it becomes brain. You know what I mean? Now you have to be smarter to grow it. So I mean, I literally just told my nephew, and he took initiative like that and fire, like because he was telling me like, how do I get to your point? How do I get into real estate investing? How do I get into this? And I told him, I said, you know, you have so much free time. He's gonna be a cop. You know,
okay.
And I hate that for him, not because I hate cops, but because I wanted to do that when I was younger. And like all my family's like, oh yeah, be a cop. He's gonna be a state trooper. Like cool, whatever. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad job, but he's so much smarter than that. He's so much smarter than that. He should be an entrepreneur. He should be a multimillionaire. The kid is retarded smart. He told me to invest in Bitcoin when it was like $1, and he had a whole presentation about it, and I didn't. You know what I mean? Like a dumbass. Damn. But he knew. You know what I mean? And I could sit down, since the kid was like 14, I could sit down and have a full-blown conversation with him about economics, and he will sit there and tell me all about it.
Yeah.
And he was just so smart. And I'm like, you got to be an asshole to throw this away and just be a cop. Like, you're going to do all this for what, $100,000 a year? Stop it. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is crazy. Yeah. You know? And so now he's taking a shift. He's still going to be a state trooper, which is fine. I don't mind him doing that. Good benefits. You know, you could still have a good life. You have something to fall back on. Great. But I told him, I said, yo, go start power washing. Do your thing. And I think you'll do well. You know what I mean? And scale that and then buy your first house. And that's what he next day made an LLC, started getting it. He's washing houses, posting on Instagram about it. Oh, wow. Okay. Like, let's go, bro. Like killing it.
So he's not, I thought he was like cops or something. Yeah. I was like,
no, he's gonna be, he's gonna be moving to South Carolina and stuff like that. With his girlfriend, and he's like well overqualified for South Carolina being a state trooper. I mean, he's overqualified here, but that's a total different area. And like, you don't even need like that much schooling. He has retarded amounts of schooling and is, you know, in crazy good shape and stuff. So yeah, but he's doing that. So when he moves out there, he's still going to live far under his means, and he's going to be killing it. He's going to buy a couple rental properties and get right to it.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. I definitely recommend, if you are young and you're watching this, to definitely pick up a side hustle or something, because most people feel like they're not talented, but a lot of the time you don't really have to be talented. I think you just have to have a drive or a passion to make money, you know, because
I wouldn't even say a drive, honestly. The drive starts it. Yeah. But discipline keeps it going.
Discipline, 100%. Right, 100%. But I feel like some people don't realize how much money they're putting into other people's pockets.
Right. And they complain about economy. That's all it is.
And
oh my God, minimum wage is this, minimum wage is this. It takes 79 hours of minimum wage to afford your cheapest apartment. And it's like, okay, well, there's a reason that
like that, though.
Minimum wage.
Yeah.
Stop being minimal ass people. That's it. Done.
Yeah. The only time I complained about minimum wage is when I had my first job at 14. And I was
that makes sense.
McDonald's.
You were 14. Like that was it.
And
you know what I mean? Like
when you question that, it's like, oh, like what is minimum wage? And then
living a minimal lifestyle. That's right. What it is.
So but if you think like that, then you start worrying about what everyone's getting paid. But like you have to think smarter than that. You have to think about, you know, your future, and if it even makes sense to keep putting, like, I can't even imagine just being stuck at a job for years. Not saying that if you love your job, if you're a nurse or if you're medical, whatever, that's cool. If you're a lawyer, but if you're just working at like a regular, I don't know, like fucking pizza shop or something like that, just to make money,
job.
any corporate job. As soon
as you're getting paid too much, they cut you and replace you. That's
right.
It.
So
and that's what I hate. There's no loyalty. You be there 14, 15 years.
Yeah, they don't.
And nowadays, you know, back in the day, that was a thing where you could work your way up and actually be somebody in the company.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like, okay, you work your way up. Oh, now you're doing this. You know, you're making 150K a year, but we could replace you with someone for 50.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that, and then now you're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Because you're letting someone else decide your future, and that's it. They can cut you like that.
It's
easier.
If
they're cutting their check, they can cut you. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. And it's easier now too, because a lot of stuff is, well,
Like
exactly
so much money. I mean, just it blows my mind how much common sense isn't so common. Like a water bottle is, if you're at Costco, it's like 25 cents. If you're at the airport, it's $6. It's, you know what I mean? It's the same water. It's the same water. And it's all about, you know, how you do it and how you display it and what you do for it. You know what I mean? There's a million ways to get this money, man. You just got to choose one.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You just got to pick one. Just got to pick one. You've been kind of quiet this one. I kind of feel bad.
Nah, yeah.
Over there?
I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, I'm trying.
We turned this fan off, so
I'm actually starving. Like I have a headache, but
it's very interesting though, because I learn a lot.
Well, that's good.
Like from like a Civic guy. I mean a Honda guy.
Civic,
I'm not much a Honda
Civic guy.
person.
No, you can call me a Honda person. I still love Honda.
Yeah.
I still drove a CRV here. Like I'm still fully okay with that. I don't like. There's so much bad negativity. No, I still love my Hondas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's funny because everyone that has like nicer cars gets in like my CRV and they're like, dude, what? I want this thing. Like, dude, it's 2018 CRV. Chill out.
I wanted a CRV before I bought my XB because
that thing's sick.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love that thing, and I don't care about it. So it's like good. You know what I mean? Like
it's a great daily.
Like when I had like, you know, hooked up cars, I'm like parking far as hell at the movies or don't want to bring my car to the movies. And now I'll park by hitting you. You know what I mean? I'm like, boop. Okay, I'm here. Like,
yeah, no, I miss
care.
that, man. I miss that. Actually, it's so weird because even my car, like,
you're so on edge at all times.
Yeah, all times.
Who's looking at my car? You're sitting down at a restaurant. You have to see your car.
Oh, it's worse with a Honda.
Oh, way worse. You know how many
Honda,
you know how many times my car's attempted got stolen? I got pistol whipped from my car selling a computer ECU.
Yo.
They stole my shit, crashed my shit. Like, that was regular shit.
Yeah, it's regular. It was common. Your anxiety is through the roof. If you brought it on the wrong street, you're done. Yep. You're getting followed. You got to spin the block twice. Like, you got to make sure they're not. That was regular shit. Yeah, it was very
common.
It
taught me a lot.
Yeah.
It was great.
You got to keep your car in the garage.
So great, but
yo, they would steal cars out of garages too back then.
Bro, they would steal that car right in front of you.
Yeah.
You'd be in it. Don't put you out that thing. It was just.
No, I heard a lot of stories about people who put a lot of money into Civics. And
especially because you had hits out on you, especially when you were street racing. That was the crazy thing back then. I don't know how much that goes on now. But let's say you pop out, you're just a Joe Schmo, and you maybe your parents had money or you had some money saved up, whatever the case may be, and you pull that with some hot shit, and word gets out, and now you smoke someone in a race.
That's it.
Now your shit's getting stolen, bro.
Yeah. They're gonna AirTag you.
I'm gonna call you out and race you with your motor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
violation.
That's how it was though back then. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like if you won that race, I'm not saying no names, but OGs, y'all know who I'm talking about. And your motor was in their shop. You mean, oh shit, yep. I remember building that. Like it's just how it was. You know what I'm saying?
Wild.
There was shops out there that was like they was snatching your shit, and that's it. You're done.
That's crazy.
End of your career. Now you probably drive a beater.
If you know, you know. It was a lot of gossip going on back then, like shop hangouts.
Yeah.
I'm sure it still happens now, but just it was different back then with the Hondas. Like, you know, because everybody at the time had a Honda, and not everybody was building it. Some people were just daily driving it, like I was.
Yeah.
But I was hoping to be able to have like a fast one, so I would always hang around the shops. And there was just always drama, man. People gossiping about motors.
I kind of miss it.
I miss it too.
Even all the bullshit that came with it, stealing my cars, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like being on alert at all times. I don't know why, but I kind of miss that whole scene.
Yeah, I think it was just the time in general. It's very nostalgic.
Yeah, and it was so fire at the time. Like I wouldn't trade that for anything. You know?
No, it was definitely memories. So now you have a sneaker store, right? And the sneaker store is doing well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so like I said in the beginning of the video or the podcast, I should say, I met Frankie through a friend, Vlad, or also known as Zoomy. And he connected me with Frankie because Frankie was looking for somebody to shoot his grand opening video. And I shot it, got the job, and then we ended up working together. So I was driving to Philly probably 2 to 3 times a week.
Technically Cherry Hill, but okay.
Yeah, Cherry Hill was like 15 minutes from Philly. And I don't miss the driving. I do miss the store, though. I do miss the store. But Frankie's been out the game for a minute though now. So it's like you're not even like when I met you, you weren't even in car. Like, I think that was your exit.
I think I had my NSX though.
Yeah, but you weren't into it. Like
no, yeah, I was kind of like, you know what I mean. It was I was definitely out of it.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
he was definitely out of it. But hopefully you can make a comeback at some point. It's kind of hard, I feel like, but
I don't know about hard. It's just like if you want to.
But because of
of
lack of originality,
to throw
I'm saying
50K at a Civic and come back out.
But is that even fun? It's
it's not because you know what? Like I was talking about it before to actually the neighbor dude. What's
Elvis?
Yeah, Elvis was it?
Yeah,
whatever. We were just talking about it. I'm like, you know, I thought about it not that long ago, building a little K series boost in it, blah blah blah. And like doing all this work and, you know, busting all my knuckles up. And yeah, I do like that stuff. And, you know, getting back into it, building a fast car. And, you know, you take so much stuff. Now it's a little bit easier, but it takes so much to get to like a 10-second car. And I'm going to get smoked by an RS3 with a tune.
Yeah.
You know, so like for what? For what?
Not,
you know what I mean? So it's not the same no more. It's a different game. You have all these newer cars, these things. You know, you got these Supers, you got these M3s and these M40Is, and they're retarded fast. You know, so and like with simple, like I'm talking intake downpipe and a tune, and you're smoking everything again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now my little Civic that was back then at 450 is not going to hold up no more. You know?
Well, 4.5. Well, his car is fast. But 4.5 is he's like one of the OGs, of course, but he has all types of Hondas and he be putting work in. He actually spanked this.
No,
dude.
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying that you can't, but I'm saying like it just takes so much more.
Yeah.
You know, and he's probably so used to it and has everything so available.
Right.
That like, you know, he's probably at the stage where you're like putting a new motor in the same day. And running it.
That's exactly where he's at.
Like I remember when I was at that point. You know what I mean? You break something, you make a phone call, it's right there.
Literally.
You know, now that's not a thing. Or now, I mean, it's a thing, but it's not a thing for me.
Right.
You know, so it's like, and then it's at the same time, it's like, why do that when now I'm still competing against this RS3 that has his AC and his girl in the car, and I'm over here like
sweating with no.
How's the boost? Yeah. All right, we're good. Lock it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, it's just. Yes, that time was fun. It was great. It's so hard to get back into, like you said. Like now, if I come out, I'm pulling out in a twin turbo Huracan, like that, and then we can do.
Yeah, that's the next level.
That's it. That you know what I mean. Besides, because you can't even get the regular. You can't even just do it with a Huracan. You do it with the Huracan. You know these M 440s, 435s, whatever they are mopping your shit, and it's like. With a regular Huracan, and now that's the new Civic. That's the new Civic of being like, oh, I spent $50K on my car, and you spent $200K on your car, and I win. It's okay, cool. I'm still fucking your bitch because I'm in the Lambo. But regardless, like, I'm gonna still get pissed. Yes, you are. You got me. You got my ego going. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, cool. But so now I got a twin turbo. You know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I got to come out with 1,500 horsepower shit.
Yeah.
You know, and then you work your way up to get smoked by 45. You know, and you go right back down. But.
Shout out to 4.5, man. Super cool dude. Humble. But yeah, it's definitely true. It's sad, but maybe this is just a part of being older now and kind of, you know, because when we were younger, we didn't know. There was probably people in their 30s at the time were probably saying what you're saying about the Civics. Who knows, you know? Because I don't even know what the car. Civics has been a thing. It was like that generation where it was just like, it was like for years. Yeah. But now it's just like technology's advanced so much that, like you said, you put a tune in your car and you're out. You don't got to do much.
The car's doing so much mechanically. It's like
electronic, everything. The
if
computers,
this wheel's spinning, it's going to put more to this wheel, so it does it, so it counteracts.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy. But that's why I feel like
it's a gorgeous thing. I love the engineering of it. I love all the time and stuff that goes into it. You know what I mean? But that's why cars like the NSX will forever be timeless, because there's not that. Like, you know, the next thing to the NSX would be like an F40. That's the most analog car.
R34 is timeless.
I wouldn't even say that. There's still a lot of technology that goes into that, and I still. Oh,
you mean like classic, like true.
I'm saying like, you know, car to like, you know, car to driver.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people tell me that because I'm really never beat on and like truly drove an R34 GTR. Yeah. You know, mine wasn't a GTR, and a couple of my friends that own it be like, trust me, if you drive this, it's like no other. And I'm like, maybe, but. From what I have seen in the GTT, it's like
I gotta drive a GTR.
The fact that I drove that one and it didn't, I was like, okay, I have nothing is telling me to go get a R34 GTR. Nothing. Like I don't want anything about it.
I need to drive one of those. That's like my goal. That's one of my
R34?
goals. Yeah, to drive one at least. R34. No, I mean I've driven Lambos, McLarens, all type of exotics, Aventador, like. That shit, I don't know. I'm not.
Well, and I think what you said before about the whole age thing is, I think that's very correct. Yeah. Because if you actually, when I was thinking about it, one of the articles that I don't know if it was a couple of them, but I know one of the articles back in the day that was written on my Civic Type R. I had said in the article, I said, if you were to ask me my dream car, it wouldn't be a Lambo, it'd be this. At the time. Yeah. And now I have way more appreciation to the Lambo. Yeah, knowing what goes into the engineering. You know, back then it was like, okay, they're just rich snobs with like money and their cars are fast. Like, no, I love the Huracan. I really I put that much research into the Huracan as I did the Civic Type R. Right. And I genuinely love that car. And there's a reason that thing is a beast around the Nürburgring for the price point. It's retarded. Yeah. I mean, kind of same thing with some of the McLarens are retarded as well, but they just break often. It's
all the time.
I've seen Huracans with 200,000 miles on it. That's stupid.
Yeah, that car is it's a tank. But I mean, same thing as a. So would you buy an R8 instead?
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about getting an R8 now.
Yeah, that's my next car.
R8?
I'm manifesting.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get the R8 and the Urus, and then
my next car.
What I'm kind of scared of though, I think I'm gonna like it, which is fine, but I don't think it might not be enough for me to go to the Huracan after that. That's the only thing I'm scared of. Because it's like, for what? You already have it.
Yeah, you already technically
it's the same exact car. It's just, you know what I mean?
I would love to see or hear an opinion of somebody who had both. Yeah. To see if it really is the same car. Because you know how they say like, this is a Z4, but it's not really a Z4.
Right.
You know, it's like
true. That's a good point. I would like to know that too. I feel like there's a lot of people that do that jump.
Yeah.
Probably
I would. Just because of the name probably, and just because of, you know.
Well, with car loans and stuff too, you have to had made payments of X amount to get to the next level.
To get to the right, yeah. A lot of high-end dealerships.
So it's like really hard to. You can't just go buy a Huracan. I don't care how much money you make unless you're buying it cash. Right. You will not get approved for it. You make $1 million a year, you're not going to get approved for it.
You got to make a lot of money.
No, it doesn't even matter. Like you can make 200,000 and get approved for it if you had a loan. For half the price,
right? Yeah.
So it's weird how it works, but it's a lot easier to get an R8 and then jump to the Huracan.
True.
But it seems like, damn, you're going to spend $100,000 more for...
I don't care. I need an R8. That's my next car. I really don't care. I'm like, y'all know, all the viewers and listeners, R8 or manifesting it. What's today's date?
Drop R8 in the comments if you're on YouTube.
June 27th?
June 27th. I'm buying an R8.
Hopefully next year.
Next year?
When? Is there a date on this?
Nah,
I like that. No, put a date on it.
I think a year from now. I feel like I'll be in one.
All right, that's cool. So now,
what do you think, babe?
Now, when you go home, hold on. What do you think, babe? All right, sorry, babe.
I want to.
I was talking to my girl. I know she's gonna be watching this. You know what I'm saying, babe? Should we get R8? No, I thought you were. I was just messing with you. No,
you were joking.
Funny enough, I feel like I have to get my girl an R8 one day.
And she wants that car?
I hope she isn't watching this yet. Give me some time. Because so I want the Huracan and the Urus matching.
Okay.
And she actually doesn't even like the Urus as much as she likes the RSQ8.
I agree.
Same thing. Better. Same car. Same thing. $100 cheaper.
I just don't like the Urus the way it looks.
Huh?
I don't like the way the Urus looks.
Yeah, see, I drool over them. I love them.
The back of the car is beautiful, but I just don't like the front of it.
Don't care. Love them.
Yeah. I mean, it's to each his own. Yeah.
Say anything else.
I like the Audi better.
That's cool. So anyway, she likes the Audi better. So I feel like she should have the combo too. I feel like she should have the RSQ8 and the R8.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I got to get her both.
I think you should get her the R8.
Well, I can't get her the R8 first. Oh my God.
Why not?
Yeah,
babe, what do you want first?
Brad.
She wants the AMG. She's a Benz kind of girl. She wants a Benz.
C63S?
Have you drove one?
She doesn't even know what that is.
I didn't know you were gay.
She just wants C63. No, we were watching these videos. This chick, this Asian chick, she's like from China, and she's like, her videos get so many freaking views, and it's like her interior is crazy. It's like
the pink one.
The pink one. Yeah, yo, it's dope.
You gotta
she has
show
like
me it after this.
15 air fresheners everywhere, and it's like all this stuff. Like,
you want 15 air fresheners?
But she gets like 2 million views on these videos, and all she's doing is driving. She just puts the phone like, I don't know, maybe somebody's recording.
Well, yeah, I mean,
all she does is
do
drive.
You remember how many people were blown up on TikTok by having the Scion, what the fuck is it called? The FRS with underglow and wheels.
Oh, that's what it is now.
And that's all TikTok was. Like, you were blowing the fuck up, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Scion.
There's the biggest, the most popular car TikToker is Thick 86.
Oh yeah, it's like THICCC or something like that, right?
Thick 86. That's the blue one. Yeah, he
broke that car.
Same as this, but just like a lighter, like a turquoise. And he's got like underglow, crazy turbo system, sounding car, all that stuff. Wide body. But his car's
I'm sure it's pretty cool, but I'm saying like that's all it took on TikTok to.
Oh, he's got
like,
700,000 followers.
15,
he puts a video up, he gets so many views. Like he's got like 700,000 followers, probably more now. TikTok, but that was one of the most famous cars I think on TikTok. Him and then the other dude with the GTA dude. He's got like the Corvette with the chrome wrap and the bike and the chrome.
Oh, the Goblin.
Never seen it.
He's like, he does like all those GTA style videos. He like walks to his bike, gets on,
that's
like, drives off.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple of different popular cars, but you would think it'd be something like a, like a Civic or something wild.
So actually, cool or something like
there is that
different.
Miata.
Once again,
there's that Miata with the swap, the LS swap. I think it is.
That's so common though.
Or is it have an LS swap?
I don't know. Never seen.
I know
it's a
red
red
I did
Miata.
See a little single cam blowing doors off on like Hellcats and shit on TikTok. It was I think it was an Accord actually.
Oh, I
want to say it was a little sleeper Accord with a single cam and it's turboed and shit.
Is it hooked up or is it a sleeper? Like
no. He has like
body.
Like stock body, and he has like Pep Boy vents on it, and like super sleeper. And I don't know if he did this, but he should. Like when we used to do like sleepers back in the day, it would be like we would run factory like hubcaps on like a radial, like on like a. Not a like a a street tire, but like something crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a R888 or something.
Yeah,
like a 15-inch R888 on like the factory wheels with hubcaps, so you could like put some power down. And I love that stuff. Those sleeper builds are so cool.
Yeah, sleeper builds on the Hondas were so dope.
Yeah.
I think now it's probably hard to even have one. Because
I feel like that could still do good on TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. I feel
100%. If you mop somebody up and you have a laptop in your car, forget about it.
You don't have to have the laptop. I'm just saying.
No, but that's what people like. Oh, he's got a laptop. Like, I think that's what grab. Like, if I was to do content and I had like that kind of car, I would definitely
You just gotta slam it closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Get the laptop. And
I got smoked by a Honda. I don't.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. 4 or 5s.
It happens.
I mean, at that time I was stock. Like,
which car?
Like,
EK. He had a hatch. EK red. His
who did
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I'm saying, what were you driving?
Oh, this car.
This car
puts down power.
Stock is like 380.
What's done to it? Or is that not unmentionable?
Well, no, it was stock at the time.
Right now?
Oh, you raced the Civic stock.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of obvious, though, no?
Well, I was keeping up with him, and then till like 2-3 seconds.
Well, he was spinning, obviously, and once he hit like
2-3 seconds.
Fourth.
So you were dreaming,
yeah.
and then you woke up. He closed the laptop on you. I got it.
Yeah, I'll show you the video after.
I mean, now if I race him, it would be a different story.
I would post a video for you guys to see, but
is that a call out?
I don't want to.
Shut up.
I feel like that was a call out. Was that shots fired or no?
Yeah,
I'm playing. It's a show car.
Yeah. You see the back.
He's got an EK4 though now. He's like on live every day with now. Yeah, but I would put the video up, but I don't want to I don't want to use anybody else's content, so that's the reason why. I mean, even though they'll get credit, but I just don't want to have any issues with people flagging anything. Mm-hmm. But if you guys do want to check that out, it's on Rock's channel, which where all the races are on his channel. But yeah, this was dope, man. This is actually like I had other questions that like not that I need to ask you, but like we kind of answered them within the conversation that we had.
Good.
So, and you definitely
I'd be rambling sometimes.
No, but it's good because you're you stay. See, there's people who ramble, but they go off topic with things and start talking.
I feel like I do go off topic though.
No, you were sticking to it. Like it was,
okay, well that's good.
It was relevant to what we were talking about. And it's
that's
like
good.
Okay, so
I didn't study that thing you sent me, by the way.
What?
You remember you were like, I know you've been out the game for a while, so just freshen up on your topic. And you said
like
a motor. It was like motor trends, like car lingo. Like
that was a joke, dude.
I know it. I know it was a joke. But
I sent him.
I was bringing the joke back up because it was funny as hell when I was like, what is he sending me? And I click it and it's like Axel. The thing. It's like literally in alphabetical order because he was cutting on me. He was like giving out the car game for a minute. So it was like slang talk for like car lingo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like an example, like heads up, like or like
like all the street
car,
terms.
like if you'd be like, oh, I'll give you the brake.
Yeah.
You know, like it was giving a definition of what that means. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like.
Yeah, I was like, just make sure you have all this stuff studied so that way when we talk about it, you know what you're saying.
You can still talk about cars.
Yeah, because he's been out the game for like.
I mean, I feel like he followed and he's still following the street racing, right?
Do you still follow?
No, I don't know who's
unless it's like a viral video or something.
I don't know. I mean, shoot, last time that I was like into the street racing, it was still like Fast Guy was on top. Fast Guy was whooping ass. High Boost was still out there. I don't know if they still are.
I don't think so.
Last like race I remember like staying up on and like watching the beef and all that shit was like when that Porsche came out. And what the hell did he race? He raced like
from New York?
I think so. I think it was New York. And he raced like a Civic or something like that. Or no, it wasn't a Civic. I think he raced a GTR or something like that. And there was like shots fired at the race and shit.
Oh, that was what's the name? Was it a white Porsche?
I believe so. I think it was nasty.
Oh, not that tune. I think it was.
Wasn't that what's the name?
He like popped up out of nowhere, I believe. I don't know if he had anything really before
right-hand
that.
drive. King.
Yeah, so
No, it wasn't Right Hand Drive King. No.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, I know Vittorio. No, it wasn't him.
Yeah, I thought it was that. I think I know what you're talking about. I thought it was that
this
car.
Porsche was slaying shit. It was like big. It was a big viral video. He was slaying shit, and the guy didn't pay up, whatever it was. It was like, I forget what he was racing against.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
It was like crazy viral.
He's from upstate. Damn.
I remember seeing the white Porsche.
Like when they were coming out of state, and like you know what I mean, because once you smoke someone's boots, it's a wrap. Like no one else wants to race you, but they're all scared. And it's like, what the fuck? Like
that's what's
race,
happening.
bro.
Yeah, we were just talking about the other day too. Like, that's
can we
what's
stop
now.
talking? Like,
it's like
there's
standby
more.
right now.
There's more political. We're at a full debate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I should come to every street race from now on in a suit because it is a full like we have two politicians and they are just going to be debating and that's all it is. And at the end we'll vote and no one will race. It's just that's why I'm not in the scene like that anymore because I was the type of person to be like I don't give a fuck. Lock that shit up. And people would probably not want to bet on me because I didn't care. I was here to race. Yeah. So if you're like, oh my God, you have this much horsepower, so I need 2 cars in the break. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't give a fuck. Just lock it in.
Yeah.
Like I'm giving them everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because I'm here to race, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think that that's fair, okay, run it.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and talk to you in this McDonald's parking lot till 4 a.m. I got shit to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? People want to be like, oh, 20K, da 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 da, and everyone's putting up their money, and they have 15 people to put up their money, and I'm just like, okay, I have mine right here. Yeah. I don't need to have Tom, Dick, and Harry put in $2,000 each for me. Like, bro, y'all over here talking big money. You want to talk about chains and driving these crazy cars, but can't even put up $20,000 by yourself. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's
But that's kind of why I like that's why I kind of like the roll racing shit nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't give a fuck. It's people with money. You're not talking Honda talk. I'm not saying there's people in the Honda world that don't have money, but they still have broke tendencies. I feel like the fact that you're debating about a race on $20,000 is like crazy to me. Like, all right, just run it then. Run it straight the fuck up. If y'all brought your shit, run it. And in the roll racing, it's like, okay, we can race for $20,000. It's 1, 2, 3, go. You know the rules. If you're not at 40 when you should be, then that's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
It's still a race, one and done. If you want to double it back, we could double up the money again. But boom, we race, we shake hands, we pay the fuck up. Done.
What determines the amount of pot the money goes in? What determines the amount of money going into a pot though? What
do you mean?
Like $20K, like.
I mean, I think it's kind of like what you're just willing to bet. It's like
it's like
I mean, don't get me wrong, because you have back in the day, it was always everyone putting in. Oh, can we do 10K each? Can we do 10K each? And then they turn around and you have 500, you have $20, and you have this. Okay, all right, so write it all down, and then they spread it out on the hood of the car and be like, oh yeah, 10K race, but it's like, okay, it was 50 niggas to come up with 10K.
That's what I'm saying, but that's my point. I guess that was more my question is like, if you got 50 people in there, it's like, okay.
Yeah, like honestly, I don't know where that came from. Like, where was the deciding number? Who said 10K? And then we all had to come up with 10K. Like, but that was crazy to me. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't race for 10K because I only have 2,000 in my pocket.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask everyone else because then it becomes a debate. And now if I say, I'll give you the car and a break, then I got Tom, Dick, and Harry being like, you can't do that. Like, you're racing with my money. And I'm like, okay, well, then why am I here racing? Like, fuck, I'm racing my car, not for them.
Sorry to cut you guys off, but I found the guy.
The Porsche? Who was it?
Evo Turan. Evo.
What car did he race, though?
The 911.
Yeah, I'm saying, what did he race against when they didn't pay up?
Got a shoot in the back.
He raced one stock one time, and he won. Oh no, one stock one. I think.
What was it? What car was it?
It was the Audi.
The TTRS.
TTRS.
The green one.
That might be it. Yeah, I think that was it.
And then one of the biggest race was the GTR.
The GTR. That's what it was. He ran the GTR, and I remember because a lot of people in the comments when the dude didn't pay up and shit.
No, it wasn't the GTR. It was the Honda. It was the Honda.
Oh, and then that's
the one I shooting at. That's the one. Yeah.
They were shooting at that one, right? Because he beat the GTR, then the Honda kid came out.
Yeah, his name is Ibrahim. Yeah, Ibrahim.
From the tuning place. What's Ibrahim is the tuner?
Fuck,
what's the name of his?
Yeah, send it to him. Yeah, he's knows a lot of people. He's got a lot of people on there. Oh, all that for that.
That's him. That's the one we were talking about. The one viral. Yeah.
No, I never knew the guy. I just saw the video.
I
didn't know who it was. I just saw the video, but I was talking about the Honda though. I thought the Honda was the dude because like there was a big pot and they didn't pay up probably because they didn't have the fucking money. But they didn't pay up, and then that's kind of what gives. And then you never see that guy again.
Yeah.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Like, why are we betting all this money? You know what I mean?
True. I mean, if you don't pay
and
up,
we already debated for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. So why is there a discrepancy in money and what goes what? And oh my God, did he do it on the light? Is it a chase, a race? Like, come on, bro. Like all these little technical difficulties. And my thing is like, yo, I smoked you by 6 car lanes. Why are we debating? You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
If I beat you that bad, why are we debating on if I took a little hit? You weren't catching up, bro.
Well, it's because of
and that's
honestly,
why I like
stips.
what's it called?
It's a lot of the stips now, and like, oh,
yeah,
well, we said
wants,
this.
No one wants to lose their money, but if you're coming to pay, like to play, be ready to pay. That's it. Don't go talking trash with 20 G's, and then you wanna, you're so afraid to lose it.
Yeah.
Then don't come to play, bro. This ain't your game.
That's a fact.
Straight up. Like that's why big man with the Porsche came out with some money and he was talking some shit, and he has every right to talk some shit. He's big dick on the street because he won the race, and you want to talk about who hit the light first, bro. You wasn't catching up. You're done up. Yeah. Now I get it's an argument if it's a close race, and who jumped. I get that to an extent, but like, you knew what you signed up for, bro. When you're in Atlantic City and you put $1,000 on red and it comes out black, you lost that money. You can't be like, oh, but if the temperature was 98 degrees in here, it would have flipped over. Like, come on, bro. Like, no, it's not all that. This is what it is.
Yo,
straight up. Of course they can. Yeah,
they're waiting for it.
And honestly, I shouldn't even say there's certain ones that are okay because, like, it should be a do-over. Like, if someone comes in your lane, okay, you know, you automatically like kind of lose the race if that's disclosed. You should just run it back. Honestly, that should just be a run back because the rules are laid out, and if you make an exception for one thing, you make an exception for all things. So fuck making any exceptions and just race.
Yeah, my car got you, burned me down. This and that's always like, oh, I can't. My car's too hot. Like, it's just always something. Man,
I can't run it back. All right, well then you built a shit box. That's what you did.
No, literally, man. It's just always
and that's
something.
why I'm saying the street beasts and the roll racing cars. That's where I think it is at because you don't have that issue. Yeah, we run it, and okay, if I have to cool my car down for 10 minutes, but we run it right the fuck back. Yeah, you know, and that's where I last had left this racing scene was in roll racing, and I truly think it's much funner. You deal with less headaches, none of the bullshit, you know.
And I feel like roll racing, that's when you get the full amount of power. Like,
yeah, you do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you're not spinning halfway down the track and not breaking shit.
That is true.
You know, or at least if you're gonna race for money, like bring it to the track. Like if you want to have that some like technicalities, do bracket racing, bro.
Yeah,
bring a minivan. Just be consistent on your number and you win, bro. That's it. You know what I mean? Like it's retarded. All this technology, just like when the light turns green or they fucking flash that thing, you go and don't complain after that. If your car wasn't fast enough, you shouldn't have been out here playing with the big dogs.
I agree.
Because if it's a gamble, there's got to be a loser.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Did you win the race or no? I don't care if he jumped, if he did this, a chase is a race, and 2 cars and a break, and my intercooler line popped off. You locked in this deal. You have your death row contract. You either lost the money or won the money. Period. And everybody that puts in and chips in, y'all should all be aware of this. This is what we came to do. Win or lose, winner takes all. It's what it's always been. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, but the fact that you could make this bet and go home with 2 people who didn't lose money is retarded.
Yeah.
Game's fucked up.
Yeah, I've had some cold nights.
I'll lock it up with you right now.
Me?
Yeah.
What you got?
CRV.
CRV.
Yeah, you know.
I ain't sleeping on no cars nowadays, bro. At all.
You can sleep in that. I've slept in it a couple times.
So tell the viewers where to find you.
Tuke's house.
That's such a Frankie answer.
Nah, you can follow me on Instagram at Frankie Type R. You can follow the story page at Statement, and you can follow YouTube at Statement as well. Yeah, and that's about it.
Yeah, statement.
I'm not really active on anything else. I don't really do the Twitter thing, nothing like that. That's about it.
Yeah, you got to get active again, man.
I know. You know, me and my girl are talking about doing a page too about like YouTube, because we be doing all kind of stuff. But like I always want to be more niche.
Yeah,
I feel like my niches are too much, but I also feel like my niches are all the same thing.
I'm in the same thing though. I have podcast, car page, production page.
Yeah, but that kind of all is around the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
sort of.
It's like me and my girl. We like to travel. We like cars and fashion.
Oh,
and gym.
We're pretty much the same thing. We like to travel, cars.
Yeah, this motherfucker travel.
Right, but I'm saying, so like you don't when you see like a YouTube channel, you see like one channel on like a food channel or a travel channel or a car channel or a gym channel, but it's like it's too broad of a thing unless you're big. already to just start off by doing all of it. And then we're recording a video of us investing on a property, and then we record a video of us, at a car event or us in the gym. And then it's okay, now we have 3 different videos, and like, which niche do we want to run with? Because we love doing all this. And it's just so much that we don't know what to do. And it's
just record it all in, maybe. I think with a couple stuff, I can't really speak because I haven't done that.
Yeah, you have. You done at the beginning, you guys were doing it all the time.
Couple stuff?
Well, kind of. I mean, it was cool because like you would do like you and your girl, and she'd just be walking to the car looking like a dummy. And then, I'm just kidding. You know I gotta cut. Yo. I gotta cut. But you know what I'm saying? And that was dope. And then you would do the behind the scenes of her, you know what I'm saying? Like how you did it. That was fire. Like, but y'all did it together.
Yeah, but it was
and now she's probably editing, right? You do some editing and stuff now?
Oh yeah, she edits.
She's still a little mad at me, but you know what I'm saying? Like before she wasn't even doing that. Now she's doing her own makeup and shopping, seeing you know what I'm saying? So like now, you know what I mean? And that's dope. So like now y'all do that together, and that's cool. And like y'all could have a channel on really anything. Yeah. I mean, if she got a Supra, which she's gonna go buy now because I wasn't gonna air you out like that. But no, hopefully she does go buy a Supra, and then you guys have like that kind of content. That's fire. Maybe your next guest should be Joanna.
If she gets a Supra. Am I gonna get
so you can't be on the
if she gets a Supra. You
can't be on the couch unless you
if you get a Supra, we can interview you, have you on a podcast. For sure. Because it's a car related podcast. You can get any car. You can get any car.
Honestly, you should get something Audi now because she's thinking about getting an R8.
Yeah, but there's not too many Audis I like other than that one.
We'll get like a
there's some fire ones.
TTRS.
What?
TTRS?
RS3's fire, but for her maybe, yeah. But I just
RS6.
RS3's fire.
RS6 is dope, but it's too. I don't like. Babe, these cars he's talking about though are mad bread.
Yeah.
Nah, you can get an RS3 fairly cheap. You can get one for the same price as this.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, wow. I think she should get a
C63 is cool if you're gay. But like,
yeah, he's so random.
Fire though. Like if you know what I'm saying? Like you got gelled hair. You know what I'm saying? If you getting out of that, like 100%. You got slick back hair as a guy. You know what I'm saying? As a female, that makes sense. Yeah, and it makes sense. That's why it's a good car because you're a female.
Yeah. No, it's Mercedes is cool. I feel like you could do some dope stuff with it. I mean, but I don't know.
I always feel like it's like a baby mom's car.
What, Mercedes?
Yeah. I mean, some of them are okay. But like, I don't want a G-Wagon, but like I'll give my girl a
G-Wagon is fire.
Yeah, but for my girl, it's fire. I wouldn't own one. I mean,
I don't know.
That's kind of a known thing though. Not many.
Bro, I was in one the other day, and the way them seats was hugging me, I was like, oh, nah.
Post Malone even said it in his song. You know what I'm saying?
When you turn, the seats, they move with you, so they make sure you stay in place. You feel it grabbing like.
Yeah, but just get in a car with sweet seats, it'll hold you.
I guess.
I don't know.
It was weird. It was so weird because he made a turn, and I just felt like the seat grabbed like
you almost
like motors in
this bitch.
Yeah. Well, this is fire.
It's a G-Wagon.
And the ambient lighting is crazy.
Car, that's it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I agree. Sort of.
Post Malone literally said, all the housewives pulling up, G-Wagon. That's what he said. It's like he confirmed it. You can't. Posty's a god, man. So.
I don't even listen to Post, but.
Me either.
Do appreciate you coming down, bro.
Thank you.
This is a great conversation.
Home now.
So, that concludes our episode. This is a great episode, I think, right? This is fantastic.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Joanna's not really happy with me right now. You can't really ask.
My girl's still tight. My girl's still tight at Frank. Nah, she's cool. I have to get hopefully in the future when this grows bigger, when it does, we could have people multiple different angles.
We'll have all the couples.
No.
Like your girl.
That's not where I was going. No. That's not where I was going. That's not where I was going. What I was going was have multiple different angles so we can see behind the scenes.
It would be funny to see.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But yeah, that's the future. But like I said, thank you for coming down. That concludes the episode, guys. Definitely appreciate all the support the podcast has been getting. By now, by the time you guys have seen this video, hopefully we were probably at what? I'm gonna take a guess.
Pause,
right now.
Can we zoom in on your face, like that smile of the thought of where you would be by the time that this video releases?
Maybe 5K. By the time this releases, what's today's date? The 27th. Hopefully by the time this releases, we'll be at 5K.
Yeah,
I think 5K.
That's fire.
But
yeah, just appreciate all the support. So
who's next?
Who's next? What?
Who's next on the podcast?
Who's next on the podcast?
Who do you think we should interview next?
If Fast Guy was still on the scene, I would probably say Fast Guy. If not Fast Guy,
I'm sure people
Or any car.
who are watching know who Fast Guy is.
all right. If
For
you're willing to travel, I would say Joanna down in Florida.
Joanna down in Florida.
Yeah, I would say that would be.
I want to. I'm
That's
going
something
back.
big though. That's something.
I can do
but
it.
Joanna's,
me and my
Joanna's a
girl
shit,
drove
though.
down there last year in the Supra.
I was there.
Yeah, he was there too. I literally met him there.
We driving all the way to.
I don't know about driving.
I don't know
And
about
you got
driving.
smoked.
Nah.
What did you get smoked by though?
Oh yeah, I went down there and ran some Florida dudes, and I got smoked.
I
got smoked by a Supra and a 340.
Right, fire. But yeah, Joanna would be the next thing. She's a real car girl. She actually, you know who she is. So I'm just kind of telling the viewers. She's a real car girl. She really works on her shit. She really bangs gears, and she really is about that life. So
she's the one.
She's definitely the one. If you want to put someone on this channel, I don't know if she does too much street racing or anymore.
It doesn't matter. I think
But
she's still like.
It would be fire to see her. You know what I'm saying? Call someone out though. You know what I'm saying, Joanna, if you watch this podcast, I really hope you come on here and call someone.
I think by the time this comes out, hopefully we'll already be planning a trip there.
Fire.
Hopefully. So, we got to be 10 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Always.
Get to it.
So, guys, thank you for watching. And make sure you guys listen on all streaming platforms. Like I say, every single episode. And make sure you like the video, subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.